this. The love is too much. 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 Jack over. Jack over. Jack, let's go. For the island are black. Navy blue check. Jack over. Jack over. Jack over. Jack over. Jack over. That's evil. That's evil. I'm getting out of this. The love is too much. 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 Jack over. Jack over. Jack, let's go. For the island are black. Navy blue check. Jack over. Jack over. Jack over. Jack over. Jack over. That's evil. That's evil. I'm getting out of this. The love is too much. 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 Jack over. Jack over. Jack, let's go. For the island are black. Navy blue check. Jack over. Jack over. Jack over. Jack over. Jack over. That's evil. That's evil.
Kásọ̀rọ̀ tútù tó yọbi lápò. Òwe ìbáwí. Òwe ìkìlọ̀. Òwe ìwúrí. Ọ̀rọ̀ bá sọnù. Àkàlò èdè ń kọ́. Ibi gíga. Ibi gíga gíga gbogbo Yorùbá Yorùbá. Ibi gíga gíga ẹtì máa rọ́mọ Yorùbá. Ibi gíga gíga ẹtì máa rọ́mọ Odùduwà. Ẹ ò bèrè wá lẹ́lẹ́ ẹ ò bèrè wá lẹ́yìn. Ibi gíga lọ́mọ Yorùbá. Adéwálé fún wa ibi gíga ọjọ́ 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 ibi gíga oṣù. Bẹ́ẹ̀ni o, iwájú iwájú lójúkùn ń gbé. Òkè níjọ, òkè 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 lẹ́yìn fún òkè.
And a very good afternoon and welcome to 11/11/2021. The time here is exactly 1 minute past 1 p.m. My name is OLAYOMI KOIKI. The platform is KOIKIMEDIA, and it's a platform that I've decided to use is media organization, fully registered here in United Kingdom, for the campaign and the actualization of one thing, and that is the self-determination of the movement that we have embarked on. It's a movement that has been on for a very long time, but we have decided also to make sure that we can continue to enlighten, to educate, and to tell the people around the globe that the Yorubas that have been part of Nigeria for the last 107 years have made up their mind that we do not want to be part of that country anymore. And how do we do so? That means we have to come out
tell the Nigerians the other options on the table, apart from the one that they have been told at the moment, which is the 2023 general election that is coming up. They might not actually agree with us because some of them love the green, white, green, but they also love the pain of the green, white, green. So that means when you talk about Nigeria, you will remember that the color that links Nigeria is the green, white, green. But millions of Nigerians are living on a daily basis without understanding what actually is Nigeria. Millions of Nigerians are moving around from point A to B, but they cannot understand why things are not working. But there's something that we need to remind them, and that is in 1914, Great Britain visited Nigeria after all the crime committed in terms of the slave trade. Ẹrú ni wá. We have always been slave to àwọn òyìnbó. They've always looked at us as slaves, even in 21st century, regardless of whatever status you have. You might hold American passport, Canadian passport, South African passport, Malaysian passport, Turkish passport. You might even hold the best passport in the world. But as Nigerians, they will remind you that you are still from a country that disrespect human rights. You will still be reminded that there's a country called Nigeria that does not even tolerate what they have tolerated. Gbogbo táwọn òyìnbó ń tolerate fún wa níta a lè ṣe ìdajì ẹ̀ ní Nàìjíríà. Everything I'm doing now, I can't do it in Nigeria. Àwọn tó ń ṣe ní Nigeria is just by the grace of the great Almighty Creator, Almighty Allah, Christian, Almighty Jesus, whichever one you believe in. But they live in fear on a daily basis. Even the slightest policeman wants to harass you. I'm talking about last month. Even the local government that you visited for whatever reason, they want to make sure that they take the hell out of you before you leave the building. Even your banking system, almost every sector in Nigeria is corrupt. And do you know why? It's because we have been put together by a country that is also corrupt. You might think that you are loved because you live outside Nigeria. Whether you live in Dublin, you're working there, you're doing businesses there. Whether you're in Singapore, in Malaysia, in Australia, you will always be reminded that Nigeria, your own country, cannot even tolerate what they are tolerating for you. You think you think they are stupid when they look at you as your manager in NHS. Tó bá ní opportunity ní ó yẹ kó gba ìtí ẹni as a nurse that you are working 13 hours, working your ass every day to save lives in UK. But òyìnbó ọ̀gá ẹ̀ kò láìkẹ́ kò lè sọ fún ẹni nítorí pé òfin ló dé lẹ́nu mú. So when people that are living outside Nigeria and they think that they are smarter than what we are discussing, it's because òfin bíbá ló ń dì wọ́n mú. Tó fi bá gbà wọ́n láyè ni, ìtọ́fẹ́ pàwá náà ṣe, wọ́n máa fi wá jófin ni. But òfin ni. And àwọn kan ló jà fófin yẹn tó fi di pé àwa náà ń gbé nínú system yẹn regardless of wherever you are around the world. Mo kí yín ẹ káàbọ̀, very good afternoon. So when people say that kí lẹ̀ ń sọ, kí lẹ̀ ń discuss, ẹ fẹ́ break up Nigeria, tó bẹ̀ láti break Nigeria nítorí pé bàbá mi tó bí mi inú Nigeria ló wà, ó ṣe wá jẹ́ ìwọ ló fẹ́ break Nigeria. It's because àwọn wà níbi tí òfin yẹn tolerate ni. But what they forgot to understand is the country that put all this mess that we are trying to entangle still wants to hold their stake in Nigeria regardless of whether Nigerian government is going into crime against humanity, there's genocide, there's terrorism. As we speak right now, people are dying. Today, in Eleni, people have died of terrorism in Nigeria. And I see people moving the video of, we might not agree with him. We don't have to agree with him. People started sending the video of somebody that I'm sure you all know, even if I don't call his name. We don't have to agree with him. But one thing we must understand is, this is a country that created that terrorism in the first place. Ìlú tó create terrorism fún wa tí à ń try láti entangle, but now they've gone about 2019. wants to charge him for terrorism. Kí ló fi pé wọ́n tí owó mi náà wọ́n ní charge fún terrorism? Kí ló fi pé wọ́n tó ń wò mí tó bá tẹ̀ charge fún terrorism? Terrorist tó máa pa ẹ́ ó ń dúró díẹ̀ ní Nàìjíríà fún Christmas. Wọ́n ń dúró díẹ̀ ni, and I'm even talking about the Yoruba terrorists that have become kidnappers as well. Àbẹ́ ẹ̀ tí gbọ́ ní Èkìtì àwọn tó ń mú ọmọ Èkìtì ni wọ́n. They are terrorists. But because the 1999 Constitution that is meant to solve all this problem is not going according to what we expect, a constitution that does not allow the governor of Ekiti State to have his police so that they can secure the lives of all the indigenous of Ekiti that are at home and the one outside. But he cannot even touch all the resources that belongs to Ekiti because it is under the federal. And that goes across all the Yoruba states and the southeast and even the northern part of the country. So when you sit outside or you sit inside and you are saying that, oh, they understand the quota and so, it is because the terrorism started when they did not allow justice to happen when they were doing the 1959 election. It is terrorism to Benin here. It is terrorism today. So what are you happy about? We were of charging for terrorism. Terrorist is in Nigeria and the British government refused to do anything about it. It's just as simple as that. So why are we trying? Mama fi come up. Acting like it doesn't matter whatever their own position is. But one thing we must understand is the terrorist is the same thing why Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is still being held in Abuja, a British citizen, and he told the British passport him. So kí ni àǹfààní British passport tí gbogbo àtẹ̀lé mú? The same British passport tí a para wa lé lórí for more than 20 years. Òun ní tiẹ̀ lọ́wọ́ nísìn. Ó wà l'Abuja, is not even getting the help he needs. Gbogbo wa la máa jẹ breakfast. Ìgbà tá fẹ́ jọ jẹ yẹn ló yàtọ̀. The same thing, Chief Sunday Igboho, he has been held in Benin Republic for more than almost coming to 4 months now. Kí ló fẹ́ǹsẹ̀, kí ló ṣe, kò pààyàn. Àwọn terrorists tó ń pààyàn, ẹbí Buhari, ẹbí ìjọba Ọ̀ṣínbàjò, ẹbí APC, ẹ bèrè lọ́wọ́ wọn pé all those people that have surrendered, we want to see them. We want to know who they are. Because everybody is now looking at Chief Sunday Igboho as a terrorist and as a criminal around the world. But the real criminal that have surrendered to the federal government, we don't have an image of them. Oh, mo bó ṣe rí, èmi náà mo bó ṣe rí, bí wọ́n ti wà nísàlẹ̀ nísìnyí, bí wọ́n ti wà lókè. Have they been sent abroad that they might be living closer to you? Nobody knows them. But what we do is, we are being hypocrite. We don't want to speak the truth. Ẹ̀rù ń bà àwọn tó wà ní UK láti sọ fún UK pé àwọn gangan ni problem wa. Má sọ yẹn Koiki, má jẹ́ kó mọ̀ pé àwọn ni problem wa. Okay, that's fine. But let's come back to home where the problem is within the politician representing us. I'm talking about the Yoruba politicians. Lánàá, wọ́n pààyàn ní Ọ̀yọ́ n'Íbàdàn. Wọ́n náà nà lóògùn àwọn NURT. It's because all your governors are used to using all these thugs to oppress you. Ìwọ ọmọ Ọ̀yọ́ state. Ìwọ ọmọ Lagos state. Àwọn ọmọ tó ń oppress yín, they call them the National Union of Road Transport Workers. They have more say than you, an educated man, moving around in your convoy, in your BMW, in your Pathfinder, in everything that you can think of. Tó bá rí ẹ wọ́n lè disrespect ẹ, kò sí nǹkan kan tó máa ṣe sí. Kódà ó ní right láti pa ẹ́. Bó ṣe pa ọmọ tó pa lánàá. I'm sure you all see the image. A young, brilliant boy. Bí ó ti ṣetán ní University of Ibadan. Bí a Polytechnic ló ti ṣetán ní, bí ó lọ kọ́ṣẹ́ ní, kò ríṣẹ́ because Nigeria could not provide job for him. Iṣẹ́ tó tún wá rí tó ń ṣiṣẹ́ ọ̀kadà. Wọ́n ní mẹ́mbà NURT. Wọ́n ná lóògùn. Ó dẹ̀ dákẹ́ síbẹ̀ and we live in a country. Ní the same last week, èèyàn márùn-ún ni wọ́n pa ní Alimosho local government area axis, and the governor of Lagos state didn't say ha, kò sọ ha jáde lẹ́nu. But we all been deceived. I say good afternoon and welcome. We all been deceived. They keep telling you Nigeria will be great. That's fine. My question is, how long do I need to wait before Nigeria is great as living with the Fulani terrorists that are still coming on a daily basis. They are coming. They are not stopping them. So when we are saying that we should work with Nigeria, we should go for election, we should work with the political parties, my question is, are we also going to be working with the terrorists living among us? Because over 20,000 people have surrendered, and I don't know them. I cannot see them. I don't even know what they represent. Lára ẹ̀yin ọkùnrin kankan náà, ẹ tún máa lé àwọn ìyàwó wọn mú. Torí tẹ́ bá ti rá àwọn mú wọn, ẹ máa ní, ọmọ tó fáìn ni, ẹ nà nìkan. Àwọn tó dẹ̀ jọkùnrin láàrin wọn, ẹ gbà wọ́n sílé gẹ́gẹ́ bí megad. Ẹ gbà wọ́n sílé gẹ́gẹ́ bí ẹni tó ń gun ọ̀kadà káàkiri gbogbo àdúgbò. We don't know who they are. 20,000 people have surrendered according to the Nigerian military, but we don't know who they are. We are just told the numbers. Àbórí wọn, ǹjẹ́ yìí rí wọn? Torí mi ò rí wọn. So ìwọ tó ń lọ sílé, ó jẹ́ máa rántí pé 20,000 of surrender Boko Haram terrorists are in Nigeria. Ìwọ tó wà ní Nigeria máa rántí ní gbogbo ìgbà pé 20,000 are in Nigeria. Àmọ́ bó ṣe rí, ọkùnrin ni wọ́n ni, dúdú ni wọ́n ni, wọ́n ga ni, wọ́n kúrú ni. And that is why we are saying that we can stop this now by demanding for a referendum to opt out of Nigeria. By continue to tell journalists kan tẹ́ pè mí láti Nigeria. Ó ní wọn gbọ́n kankan mọ́ tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀. Mo ní bí ti báwo. Then ṣe rí kí n tó lọ sọ́dọ̀ tiẹ̀. When there's a video that circulates, ó máa ń lọ bí iná rárá ni. Ó máa lọ ìgbà ẹni kọ́ọ̀lù máa wọlé. Báwọn yóò ṣe ń pè láti Amẹ́ríkà, wọ́n máa pè láti Nàìjíríà, bó ṣe ń pè ní Yugoslavia, wọ́n máa pè ní gbogbo àgbáyé lórí one video. And it's good because we are concerned. And there's nothing bad to be concerned about somebody we love and we want to know kí ló ń ṣe gangan, kí ni problem ẹ̀, kí ni nǹkan tó ń ṣe ká lè mọ tá fẹ́ ṣe sí. Nígbà tí mo jí lágo 3 òru, àwọn kan tún pè mí láti Amẹ́ríkà, mo wá send message, mo ní bẹ́ẹ̀ta mi lélẹ̀ mo lè gbé call. Message tó wá send ni pé question 4 ni, kí làlàáfíà ti Sunday Igboho, kí ni lọ́ọ̀yà ń ṣe sí, ǹjẹ́ ti consult bàbá wa Fálànà, ǹjẹ́ kí là ń ṣe? Which is, there's nothing bad in that. It's the right thing to ask. I'm sure some of you have seen that video. Wọ́n ti poison Igboho, kò ní pẹ́ kú mọ́. Wọ́n ti tìǹkan bọ̀ lára, kò ní pẹ́ ṣe. Ìyẹn lẹ tún gbé káàkiri nísìn. Ìyẹn ni message tó travel nísìn. Gbogbo platform nísìn. Ó ti rí fídíò yìí. Ó ti rí. Ẹ jẹ́ pé Koiki, ẹ bèrè lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀. Ẹ jẹ́ tètè lọ pé Koiki. Ǹjẹ́ ó ti rí? Ìjọ́ náà ti rí fídíò yẹn. Ìyẹn là ń gbé káàkiri nísìn. Àwa gan fúnra we love bad things. Àwa fúnra wa gan. It seems faith wa kò strong. Ẹlòmíì mo sọ fún yín, one leg in, one leg out lẹ́ ń ṣe. One leg in, one leg out. So gbogbo àdúrà tá à ń ṣe, gbogbo ìgbà faith wa ta níyẹn, ká sọ pé Elédùmarè láìpẹ́ láì jìnnà ànírí wàhálà ànírí ṣe kí. So gbogbo kíní yẹn, so a kàn ń deceive ara wa ni. So where do we put that faith? Ẹlòmíì ò mọ̀ pa lè gba Yorùbá nation gbogbo tá à ń ṣe. Ọ̀rọ̀ pé wọ́n là ń ṣe. Àwọn ìyá wèrè kan wà bẹ́ẹ̀, àwọn bàbá wèrè kan. Wọ́n máa sọ kábàkábà. Ibi táwọn wà, àwọn òdú kan ló jà fún. Àwọn bàbá wèrè, àwọn bàbá tó ti sọnù. Wọ́n pọ̀ káàkiri ní Europe yìí, wọ́n pọ̀ ní Europe yìí, wọ́n ti sán lórí. Àwọn agitator yẹn. Nígbà tẹ́ pé mi ni mo dá problem Nàìjíríà sílẹ̀. Ṣé èmi mo dá problem Nàìjíríà sílẹ̀? Britain tó dá problem Nàìjíríà sílẹ̀, ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ wa là ń gbé ní Britain nísìn. Là ń jàǹfààní ẹ̀. But àwọn ni igi tó wà nínú iná tó ń kú mọ́ wa lọ́wọ́. Wọ́n wá lọ ní 2019, wọ́n lọ kidnap èèyàn kan, wọ́n ní ṣe terrorism. Terrorism wà Nàìjíríà tó fún láyè, tó ń operate. Ẹ lọ bàtẹ́ pé ẹ ń wo program ẹlòmíì ò tẹ̀ fi gbọ́ àwọn Biafra. Ẹ lọ wo analysis tí Simon Ekpa ṣe lórí àwọn tó ń train helicopter ní UK. Ti British government ó panu mọ́ ṣe bí tó wò mọ̀ rárá. They were training them, helicopter pilots. Wọ́n wá lọ Saudi Arabia. Saudi tí gbogbo àti ń lọ ṣe hajj. Àti lọ ṣe umura. Wọ́n wá lọ àwọn yẹn, wọ́n fi kọ́nà, wọ́n train wọn ní UK. But what we like is we like to be deceived. So if anybody is saying, yeah, stop poison Chief Sunday Igboho, that's total nonsense. Kilimoso is all total nonsense. Oh yes, we know that it needs to be taken out for medical treatment. But pé èèyàn kan wá ṣe fídíò wọn náwọn kan anonymous kan ẹ̀wọ́ sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀wọ́n ní wọ́n ti poison ẹ̀ kódà wọ́n tẹ̀ tún mọ orúkọ ẹni tó poison ẹ̀ débi tó mọ̀ ọ́n náà mọ orúkọ ẹ̀yọ́ náà ní kíní kan ṣọlá ni ìyẹn ni fídíò tẹ̀ ń gbé káàkiri nísìnyí. So all I can say is that is a total nonsense. Bẹ́ẹ̀ làwọn kan ní ó ní kidney problem ó ní kíní kan ẹsẹ̀ ti wú èèyàn kan tẹ̀ pé ó ní ó ti wú ó fẹ́ bẹ́ ó ní ó ti wú ó ti fẹ́ bẹ́ ẹ sọ fún wọn pé bàbá tiwọn ló máa bẹ́ torí pé Ìgbòho táwa mọ̀ láìpẹ́ láì jìnnà Ọlọ́run á bá wa tú sílẹ̀. Àwọn politician tó fẹ́ kó tú sílẹ̀ tí gbogbo wọn sáré lọ́tún lósì àwọn ọba tó ń sáré lọ́tún lósì àti APC àti PDP àti baálẹ̀ àti òṣèlú àti kò ṣòṣèlú tẹ́ ń sáré lọ́tún lósì tẹ́ ń sa oríṣiríṣi pé kò ní tú sílẹ̀ irọ́ lẹ pa ó máa rí tú sílẹ̀ nítorí pé àkọọ́lẹ̀ ti wà ní pé kò ní rí tú sílẹ̀ àwọn kan tẹ wọ́n ti síbẹ̀ ní wọ́n pùṣẹ̀ ní àwọn ti sọ fún àwọn ìyá wèrè àwọn ìyá tó rí wọ́n ti gbálẹ̀ wọ́n ti sán lórí àwọn ìyá tí wọ́n ti sán lórí tó wà ní Europe àwọn ti sin ní wọ́n ti sin ní ibi táwọn dẹ̀ wà àwọn kan ló jà fún ni àwọn kan ló jà fún. So let me say this clearly. I don't care whatever you have read or you have listened to by whoever they call themselves anonymous. I'm sitting here right now to tell you that is a total nonsense. It's a total lie. Tan anonymous bá mọ̀ ni pé báyìí right pé báyìí tó ń sọ fún yín tí gbogbo yín wá gbé ìgbà bára pé wọ́n ti poison Ìgbòho wọ́n ti poison ẹ̀. I'm telling you right now, you better start understanding what you pick from them to believe and what you don't pick. I'm not saying that there's not intelligence around the world. Oh, yes. Integbedani, spiritual wà níbẹ̀, intelligence wà níbẹ̀. Bá ṣe ń sọ̀rọ̀ báyìí nísìnyí, wọ́n ti jókòó. Wọ́n note, wọ́n kọ sílẹ̀, wọ́n decode, wọ́n wà lẹ́yìn kámẹ́rà, wọ́n wò mí báyìí. But let's tell you, it does not matter how you might try to put it. The country is fragile. Ó mì báyìí ni, ó ti fẹ́ ya. But there's a lot of people that don't believe so. Oh my God. They're looking at Nigeria as a country that cannot break. Who is telling you that? Àwọn ló sọ fún yín pé it cannot break. It will break, whether peacefully or it doesn't break without peace. It doesn't matter. Britain cannot stop the disintegration of Nigeria. G60 cannot stop it. The worst case scenario is they might have to call everybody on the round table and make peace so that we can be divided without bloodshed and we can go our different ways because we were never one, and that is something that they cannot deny. Britain knows that we were never one. Kì í ṣe kan náà nígbà tó gbé wa papọ̀. But even when it was 1960, ká tẹ̀ padà sí pé 1960. Let's go back to 1960 to start with. That 1960 told us that we were given what we call regional government. Ṣé regional government là ń practice nísìn? Mo ń bẹ̀ ìbéèrè ni o. Are we practicing what we were told and given when we got the independence in 1960? So how come Britain and America and all these countries around the world are thinking that there's unity in Nigeria because àwọn wà níbẹ̀, wọ́n fi representative wọn síbẹ̀, wọ́n ní power, wọ́n lágbára? Oh yes, we are not disputing that. We are not disputing that. We are not contesting that they don't have the power. But what we are saying is the time of all these power, it cannot stop the minds of the people because the people are now much awakened. Eléyìí some that 50 years ago is not that 1960. And let's come straight. Let me show you this. How Britain Labour government facilitated the massacre of Biafrans in Nigeria to protect its oil interests. They might have to massacre so many Yorubas again, and the Middle Belt, and even the same Biafran. They might have to massacre more than enough so that they can keep that same oil interest or their interest in Nigeria if they refuse to listen to what we are saying now, that we are not united in that country, because even what they gave us in 1960 is not what we are practicing right now. So when people are now saying, wọ́n lọ gbé èèyàn kan ní 2019, ẹ wá ń circulate video ẹ̀, the question we should be asking them is, what happened in 1960? In 1959? Àwa ń prepare pé a fẹ́ wà ní United Nigeria. Britain ń bá Hausa sọ̀rọ̀ lẹ́yìn. Ẹ má dá wọn lóhùn. Tẹ́ bá lọ ṣe one Nigeria together, ìyà máa jẹ yín o. Ṣé rí àwọn bàbá wọn yẹn, Ọbáfẹ́mi Awólọ́wọ̀, ẹ má tẹ̀lé wọn. Tẹ́ bá ti tẹ̀lé Awólọ́wọ̀, Awólọ́wọ̀ mọ tó ń ṣe o. Ọ̀mọ̀wé ni o, ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n ni o. Ó ní làákàyè tó pọ̀ o. Ẹ má tẹ̀lé o. Ẹ̀yin ẹ ṣe kí ni? Ẹ̀yin ẹ di gbogbo ibi tí weapon wà, ẹ di military mú. Ẹ fìyà jẹ wọ́n dáadáa. Èyí tó bá ṣe kí ẹ pa. Èyí tó bá ṣe kí ni ẹ lé sígbó. Èyí tó bá súnmọ́ yín láàrin wọn tó jẹ́ bí olè jẹgúrújẹrá tó fẹ́ gba owó, ẹ fún lówó. Ẹ dá lọ́lá, ẹ dá lókòwò, ẹ dá ní business. Ẹ jẹ́ kó ní empire tiẹ̀, bọ̀ ẹ máa fi tó létí pé gbogbo ìgbà tó bá fẹ́ gbémú sọ̀rọ̀, ẹ jẹ́ kó mọ̀ pé àwa la fún empire yẹn o, a lè gbà lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀. How Britain, ẹ jẹ́ ká sáré kátìkù yìí. Once again, a very good afternoon. It's exactly 24 minutes past 1 p.m., 11/11/2021. My name is OLAYOMI KOIKI. You're watching a live broadcast. How Britain Labour government facilitated the massacre of Biafrans in Nigeria to protect its oil interests. So what better for my Lord prepare another massacre sílẹ̀? Nítorí pé àwa Yorùbá kan sọ pé a fẹ́ ṣe mọ́ pẹ̀lú Nigeria. So it's either Britain have to massacre more to keep Nigeria or allow peace to divide the country and let everybody go on their separate way. And we can now start to talk about a new terms and condition, how they want to operate with us as a nation of our own, just like Britain is negotiating their way out completely out of European Union after 35 years of a union, that they think that it is not working for their citizens. Tó bá ní pé kò ṣiṣẹ́ fún àwọn citizen wọn, that is why they went for referendum, and about almost 16 million Brits, which I love them so much, say no. We love to go to Spain. We love to go to Cyprus. We love to go to Italy. We love all these European countries, but we don't want to be part of them. Fẹ́ ṣe pẹ̀lú wọn. So why must Britain now continue to emphasize on 2023 when we are saying that it is not working? Whether you agree with Afenifere or not, Afenifere sọ pé ẹ dá padà síbi tó wà tẹ́lẹ̀. Let's go back to the regional government of 1960. They said no. So you don't want to go back. We are demanding self-determination. But this is what Malami is now talking about. I'm not sure whether some of you have seen that. And if you haven't seen it, this is the headline coming out of Nigeria today. Attorney General of the Federation. I'm coming back to that article. I'm trying to link everything together so that when Tiban says Sorolo, Ele ma understand, what is about to happen and what they're planning ahead. Ẹ máa lọ bá wọn sọ̀rọ̀ Nnamdi Kanu àti Igboho máa break in Nigeria, but ẹ máa sọ fún wọn pé a lè ṣe political solution fún wọn now. We don't want any political solution. We want a referendum to decide our fate. If not, there will be more massacre, just as it happened in the 60s. This is the headline. Attorney General of the Federation says a political solution on Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and Chief Sunday Igboho is not ruled out. But I only accept a political solution. What do they mean by political solution? What is political? We don't want any political solution. What we want is, he is not a criminal. Tell Benin Republic to allow him to go, continue his journey. If you don't want him back in Nigeria, that is fine. He can come back when he believes it's time inside the Yoruba nation. But you cannot hold him in Benin Republic and try to negotiate a political solution. It is not about political solution. It has gone beyond political solution, because what is being done is You have kept him there for 4 months while over 20,000 terrorists are operating with impunity. And if you have not seen that, let me just show you one out of the so many crimes that is being committed. This was just about some few days ago. Let's watch it together. These are the 7 out of so many innocent. You might not agree with them. They are very, very stupid as well. So when they die, we just have to pity them. Nigerian army, Nigerian soldier. These were 7, if not more, that were killed in Zamfara some couple of days ago. So those of you saying that we should keep one Nigeria, that means we have to also tolerate the terrorist operation in Nigeria. Let's come back to this article. And this is a declassified UK.org. You can go on our on our Facebook page, and you can also get the link. And it came out last year, April. On the 50th anniversary of the end of Biafran War, the world's worst humanitarian crisis in the late 1960s, declassified British files show that Harold Wilson, you all remember Harold Wilson? Who remember Harold Wilson? You might maybe have forgotten about it. But I will always show you his face. We might mute him, but let's see if we can get this video out. Harold Wilson. Who remember him? Harold Wilson. A very good afternoon and welcome to the program. Harold Wilson.
Hello. Mrs. Carol Smith, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
May I say how delighted we are to be on Passion. We've looked forward to speaking to an African television station for decades.
This one is Harold Smith. Sorry, but let's hear from him. This gave us a clue of what happened between 1957 and 1959.
Mr. Harold Smith was a young, bright and principled Oxford University graduate who was recruited by the Colonial Office and posted to Nigeria. He took his final examination a year ahead of his class. He also married Mrs. Carol Smith, whom he met while they were both at Oxford University. Together they went to Nigeria, where they had their 2 children. Mr. Harold Smith, you were featured in a program recently by BBC Radio 4, titled Document, and that was hosted by Mr. Mike Thompson. You were alleged that the British government rigged the first and most important election in the history of Nigeria in 1959 in favor of the North. Am I correct?
Yes.
How long were you in Nigeria for?
From 1955 to 1960. And we were based in Lagos. I was on the staff of the Department of Labour. I was largely occupied with employment problems, all the employment exchanges, and statistics, and international reports, and was kept pretty busy. I was also stationed in Lagos in charge of the capital and the port. I was the port labour officer as well, and I also devised a port labour scheme and later a social security scheme, which was one of the first in Africa, which guaranteed workers some income after they'd finished work. It was a providence scheme, as I say, it's called the National Providence Scheme, and I was very proud to have put that on the statute book.
I was going to ask you what your role is. You've mentioned 3 important. Is there any particular name given to your office while you were there?
Just labour officer.
I was a labour officer, a senior civil servant.
Okay.
I only intended to stay in Lagos initially for 2 tours of duty. Although, because of this conflict with the elections, there were difficulties. Actually, government wouldn't let me leave the civil service. They were determined that I should stay in the civil service after my 2 tours. And I was offered very considerable incentives, including a knighthood, to stay and work for government. Primarily this was because I had access to state secrets.
Let's pause it there. We'll come back to that. I just want to, this is Aaron Smith, but the other guy that I just mentioned was the then-time Prime Minister, Harold Wilson. Let's find out who is Harold Wilson. Who is he? Harold Wilson was a former Prime Minister of United Kingdom. James Harold Wilson, Harold Wilson of Rivervlocks, KG, OBE, PC, FRS, FSS, was a British politician who was the Prime Minister of United Kingdom twice, from October 1964, after Nigeria has become an independent country in 1960, to June 1917, and again from March 1974 up to April 1976, some just 2 years before I was born. He was born in March 1916 in Huddersfield, which is in Hull, just about some few hours away from London. He died on the 24th of May 1995, just probably same year Ken Saro-Wiwa was killed by the then Abacha, the military dictator. But what do we know? Last year, this came out. This declassified information. And what is it all about? Let's push up a little bit. It says right here, how Britain Labour government then facilitated the massacre of the Biafrans. I'm on a live show at the moment. I'm on a live broadcast. I'm on a live broadcast. Do you want to contribute, or you're just calling me on a different thing entirely? You're getting the wrong information. So it's probably maybe the video you're watching is not me. All right then. Thanks very much. All right. Sorry about that, everybody. Once again, on the 50th anniversary of the end of Biafran War, the world was humanitarian crisis. That humanitarian crisis is currently going on in Nigeria, and the same Britain is keeping mute so that they can continue to back the Fulani Hausa government against the Biafrans or the Igbo, the Middle Belt, and likewise these people from the Southwest. Oh yes, we have some Yorubas that are working with them to continue to say we can work things out, we can live in unity, but we cannot live in unity with those that have a different mindset against us. British files show that Harold Wilson, who is this? The former Prime Minister, twice Lushe Prime Minister Louis. So at least you have a face to who the person is. Let me just show you more images of him. So this is the guy we're talking about, right? That is him there, Harold Wilson. So at least you have an idea who he is. Harold Wilson government secretly armed and backed Nigerian aggression against the secessionist region. Then, what do we know? The then Labour government of the United Kingdom secretly provided large quantity of arms, ìbọn, gbogbo oríṣiríṣi ìbọn, ìkan tó lè fi bá wọn yàn jà, tó lè fi pààyàn, tó lè fi ṣe jàǹbá fún àwọn aráàlú níjọ́ náà lọ́hùn. And that is the same thing happening today. So èyí tí ẹ ń sọ pé ẹ ń gbé níbí báyìí, ìfọ̀kànbalẹ̀ wà fún yín, but àwọn ni wọ́n ń create wàhálà tí kò fi sí ìfọ̀kànbalẹ̀ fáwọn tó wà nílé bá ṣe ń sọ léde lénìí. Which arms to the Nigerian federal government, níjọ́ náà lọ́hùn, which by the early 1970s had crushed an attempt by the country eastern region of Biafra to gain independence. Ǹjẹ́ wọ́n máa ṣe the same thing as we are all demanding a referendum self-determination in 2021? Are we going to see the same massacre? Because gbogbo wa là ń pariwo pé ogun fẹ́ẹ̀ dé, ogun ń bọ̀. Kò ń ṣe pé níjọ́ náà lọ́hùn àwọn gbogbo àgbáyé ò mọ̀ pé ogun ti dé. Gbogbo wọn náà lọ rí ogun yẹn, àmọ́ àwọn kan sọ̀pọ́ọ̀tì ìlú yẹn against àwọn kan tó náà fẹ́ independent. So are we now saying that if what Malami is saying here as an example. The federal government may consider all kinds of solutions, including a political ones, in order to resolve the crisis surrounding separatist agitation in Nigeria. Tabawa sọ pé a fẹ́ political one that táwọn àgbáyé, I don't know which of the country is advising them now, speaking to Nigerian government, push that against them. Tell them they should go for political option. Tell them they can have their own political party. They can contest, and we will monitor the election, and we will make sure it's free and fair, just as they've been monitoring that election since 1999. Tell them to go and look into that option rather than the separatist agitation. And we are not separatists. We are demanding self-determination. There's a difference between separatists and there's a difference between self-determination. Ìyàtọ̀ wà láàrin méjèèjì. But they continue to use the word separatist just as it was used against the Biafrans. Then they were asking for independence in 1960. In 1967, somewhere around that area then. Erikwe is the same word they're using. Biafra to gain independence, which it had declared in May 1967. During the 3-year war, ǹjẹ́ a máa ja ogun tó máa lọ fún ọdún mẹ́ta ká lọ máa gbáradì? Tí àwọn ìlú kan máa sọ̀pọ́tì àwọn tó wà lórí oyè nísìnyí láti crush wa, láti suppress wa, tó bá wá crush wa tó náà wá pa. Gbogbo a máa dákẹ́, a máa sá lọ, àwa tá bá kù á sá lọ, àwọn tó bá wà nílé wá surrender. Are we all thinking now? Are we all getting prepared? That kò ń ṣe pé ogun tó ti ń jà ní Nàìjíríà, those outside country is not aware of it. Àwọn gangan ló funded. They are fully aware. Ẹ má bínú, I think I should take off that arrow smith so you can see what I'm putting up there. Sorry about that. Are we prepared? Ǹjẹ́ à ń rántí pé the same country ni wọ́n pa Ken Saro-Wiwa? Ibẹ̀ náà ló ti pa MKO Abiola. Abiola won that election neat. And they watched until MKO Abiola was killed, with international community involved, the Yoruba involved, the Igbo involved, the Hausa involved, the Fulani involved. What was the intention to have killed MKO Abiola then? What was the intention? Kí ni àníyàn wọn? Tó fi sọ pé, tẹ́lẹ̀ bá tún lọ, Awólọ́wọ̀ try ó fẹ́ wá Fúláyè. Just as what? Let's go back to that video again. What he was saying here. Let's hear this again.
I learned, and the Governor General himself confirmed this to me, that the elections were rigged, contrived. The intention was that the North should rule Nigeria.
The intention, àníyàn Britain, níjọ́ náà lọ́hùn, òun ni pé kí northern part of the country to rule Nigeria. Wọ́n ní gbà MKO Abiola wọlé, ọmọ Yorùbá ni láyé. They will never, even the South, they will never give them any opportunity not to talk about the Middle Belt. Àwa ta lè gbé ìyànjú ẹ̀, and that's what they're telling Tinubu now. Tinubu, come and do it. We will give you opportunity. That's Toba Fulaye. Osibajo, come and do it, or go and find any other brilliant Yoruba man around the world, or Yoruba woman if you can find her, and bring it to the political table. Speak to Igboho, speak to Nnamdi Kanu, and let us look at the political option rather than the self-determination that they are demanding to completely disintegrate Nigeria, so that I would have a different passport as against the green, white, green. And I hope everybody is looking at the waves, the court waves. Election is getting closer. Forget about the governorship election. Governorship election is different from the main election. The main election is what they are concerned about, the international community. Are we going to go into a civil war, another one? And who is going to fund who? Who is going to back who? Because what we know from what we are reading, it declassified information that came out last year, says that Britain funded, armed Nigerian government. Even we know during the EndSARS saga of last year, information came out that Britain was training some of the SARS officers with the British taxpayers' money. So if everybody is keeping quiet and say, well, let's continue, like the AGF is giving that option now. Remember, the same AGF some few weeks ago came to say Igboho is a terrorist. But our lawyer representing Chief Sunday Igboho came and said, Igboho is a businessman, not a terrorist. Lawyer replied, the federal government. But the same federal government now is saying that let us look at the political option on the table for Chief Sunday Igboho and Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And this was the interview he granted in Abuja yesterday. The federal government may consider all kind of solutions. Gbogbo tó bá lérò òun ló fẹ́ wò nísìn lórí ọ̀rọ̀ tó wà nílẹ̀ nítorí pé ariwo ń lọ níta, ariwo ń lọ nínú ilé. Kó tẹ̀ jẹ́ pé tinú ilé ò tí lọ bó ṣe jẹ́ kó lọ, but problem yẹn inú ilé ló ti máa bẹ̀rẹ̀. A fẹ́ bára wa jà, ní bára wa jà, a máa lọ àní lọ, kò í ṣe l'Amẹ́ríkà. Ó kàn lè máa gbóná l'Amẹ́ríkà ni in terms of protest tó lè wà violent tó bá lọ dójú ẹ̀. Because if a civil war starts in Nigeria today, everybody outside Nigeria will not be pleased with the international community looking at the genocide that is being committed in the southeast, in the middle belt, in the southwest of Nigeria, where lives means nothing to them. If ìjàmbá bẹ̀rẹ̀ lẹ́ni nísìn, international community máa jẹ gbèsè nítorí pé àwa tá wà níta tájọ́ ọmọ ìlú tó wà níta nígbà fún wọn, and it could become violent and it could become peaceful, but the rally and the protest ó máa yàtọ̀ sí bá ṣe ń ṣe tẹ́lẹ̀ because wọ́n lè máa pa àwọn èèyàn nílé kó wá rò pé ó máa rí bó ṣe rí, because that is going to be different from what happened in 1967. There is no more 1967. We are now kódà bọ́bá switch off gbogbo internet in Nigeria. As long as we know that there is problem going on in Nigeria, everybody outside would have a different perspective to the international community. During the 3-year war, up to 3 million people as Nigeria enforced a blockade on the Biafra, causing widespread starvation amid considerable international opposition to the conflict. What was the British policy? Because they colonized us. They gave us Nigeria that we are operating on today. And they are still with us, whether as friends, enemies. But let's watch what this, I'm sure you know his face, Jerry Rawlings, is late now. Let's hear what he has to say. Maybe he might come back to before the British policy. What was the British policy in Nigeria during that time? Because already Aaron Smith have told us that the 1959 election was rigged to favor the northern part of the country, and that is still part of the situation we are facing today. Let's hear this together.
Just say something. I have a little theory that the world is manipulated. I may be wrong, but the world is manipulated by the multinational corporations, the media, some parts of the media, and the intelligence apparatus. They work as a triumvirate, and they are neatly sandwiched like the ham, like your tomato, whatever it is. They are neatly sandwiched in between the governed people, you, the governed ordinary people, and the governors. That is where the manipulation takes place. And there is a symbiotic relationship between the triumvirate and sometimes at this level. And if we do not make every possible attempt to return morality, when we're talking about the immorality of international politics, the immorality in business ethics is also percolating downwards, and the criminal, corrupt thing that goes on in my world is bad. So the sooner we begin to return, to restore some sense of morality in business ethics, in politics, in the media, intelligence apparatus, with beliefs, conviction that this is wrong, etc. After all, if you're talking about globalization, then please, let the same value, what is good for the goose, let it be good for the gander. You know, what you want for yourself, I think is something you should want for your fellow man. If we truly want to enjoy peace and stability under a so-called unipolar world, then we have to wake up to our responsibility. You listen to me. We end up with injustice. We end up with corruption. We end up with poverty. We end up with the worst possible things. We end up with the image. I don't have to tell you the image that you have in Africa. I don't have to tell you. We've always believed in and we know the value of democracy. Long before, we were colonized and even after we were colonized. However, the world is going through changes, etc. We've been through the pain of colonialism, and today we're going through colonialism, neo-colonialism. In the sense that what I'm trying to say is that there was a time when we saw the white man, our colonial powers, as our enemies. But I think, no, not that I think, something that is worse than an enemy is a traitor. Yes. And when we won our freedom, some of our countries were led by some of the most noble nationalists, of our time. But at the same time, with the passage of time, some of them became treacherous and rather betrayed our aspirations. In effect, what I'm trying to say is that as bad as an enemy can be, I think something worse than an enemy is a traitor. We've ended up evolving in the process of trying to modernize. We've ended up being westernized. The late Pope John Paul contributed his quota towards the collapse of the Eastern Bloc. With the growing unipolar world, some of us were thinking, is it going to be better or is it going to be worse? The Western powers talk about democracy, Christian values, etc., etc., etc. Some of us were hoping that the world, well, let us hope it's going to be better. Do you know what your own Pope John Paul said before he died in a meeting with President Gorbachev? He described the new situation as the savagery of capitalism. The savagery of capitalism. This is a serious indictment. It's a serious indictment of us. We're beginning to sow the seed of instability. My brother, let us wake up. Did you like?
Once again, a very good afternoon and welcome to the program. Now, you've listened to the late Jerry Rawlings. What was the British interest then during that first civil war in Nigeria? We already know, according to the information that we have, that the government of Harold Wilson supported the then Northern Caliphate that Harold Smith already told us. Yeah.
Even in 56, the northern leaders were very proud and were saying if they couldn't run Nigeria, never mind elections. They might not join Nigeria. They might leave. And we all thought, well.
Even then, the Northerners were saying that we don't have to be part of Nigeria. Why is it now difficult for this union to break? You know why? Just as the late Jerry Rawlings said, who are the traitors? What is traitors? What is the traitors? I want to know the traitor.
Traitor. Traitor.
What is the meaning? Do we have them among ourselves? Do we have them within the political terrain that we are operating in that fraudulent country called Nigeria today? Oh, yes, we have them. A person who betrays someone or something such as friend, cause, or principle. He was a traitor to his own people that is demanding self-determination, working with the Fulani government, talking about political options on the table. The Attorney General of the Federation and the Minister of Justice, Abubakar Malami, senior advocate of Nigeria, gave indication lánàá pẹ̀lú àwọn journalists l'Abuja on the pardon granted to Boko Haram insurgents. Pardon. Did you understand what that means? Pardon granted. Àwọn tó fi sílẹ̀ tó máa ní kó máa lọ. Ibi tó wà, nobody knows. Ibi tó ń gbé, nobody knows. Àwọn wo ni wọ́n jẹ́ àmọ̀ wọ́n? We are all living with them, but the government has given them pardon. Àwọn tó ti pààyàn, tó ti gé orí èèyàn, wọ́n ti bá oríṣiríṣi èèyàn sùn. While the leaders of the self-determination movement are facing persecution, just like we saw all the shenanigans that took place in the Abuja court yesterday, where lawyers were denied access to even be in the presence of the court to defend Nnamdi Kanu. Just as we are putting every pressure to get the release of Chief Sunday Igboho out of Benin Republic, but some of the traitors among us, some of the
traitor,
individual groups of people, politicians, Baale, kings, want Igboho to continue to be in Benin Republic so that events like these will never surface again in Yoruba land.
The land is too much. 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 Let's go. For the island of black, maybe blue check. Don't see no. The land is too much. 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 Let's go. So for the island of black, maybe blue check. The land is too much. 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 Let's go. For the island of black, maybe blue check. Don't see no.
Yeah, I know, Emabino, I know we're live on the Facebook. Okay, I think we're still live on the YouTube. I can see the YouTube, I can see the message coming up. So we're still good. We're good then. So let's continue. We're good. We're still able to hold on to it. I thought we lost the broadcast, but we're still good. Once again, a very good afternoon and welcome to the show. So let's just drop down some of the frames. We've got too many of them. I guess we're still on. I'm just dropping down some of the frames so that we can just continue with the broadcast. Yeah, the volume is back. Yeah, I can tell it's back. Yeah. All right. So the YouTube is done. I'm sure you can still hear me on YouTube. Okay, that's fine. So let's come back again to where we are. Sometimes this happen as well. I think I was opening too many things at the same time, and they went. I think I need to increase the, the hard drive or whatever it is on the system so that it can stabilize a little bit. So that's why. A very good afternoon. Is exactly coming up to 2 minutes to 2 p.m. Local time in Yoruba land is about 1 hour ahead of us. Mokibugwati at Darapọ̀ mọ́ wa. So to come back to British policy. to come down to the British policy. British policy was mainly shaped by its oil interests. The classified government document from the time show our direct interest at the trade and investment, including an important stake by Shell and British Petroleum in the eastern region. The Foreign Office noted a few days before the outbreak of the war in 1967, investment by Shell and BP, then a joint company in Nigeria, which was partly owned by the British government, amounted to around 200 million pounds at the time. I hope you're listening to this. As at the time before the war in 1967, just the same thing now, because they can see they might not listen to us, they might not respond to us, but they can see everything that is happening. They can see everything that is happening around the world. They have, what do I want to say? They have the manpower. So British or Monton law, America or Monton law, they know what is going on. They know, but their interest at the moment might not really want them to say much. So the question I should be asking everybody is, ní ìjọ náà lọ́hùn, total investment tí wọ́n ní ní ọ̀dọ̀ wa is about 200 million pounds sterling. What? The company was the largest producer of oil in Nigeria, most of which was in Biafra land. So my question to those of you that are watching this afternoon is, are they going to defend that same investment to suppress us, demanding a referendum? And probably maybe that is why the AGF, Attorney General of the Federation, says the minister also spoke. The minister also spoke on other issues. Other issues here, but this is the one that I want us to focus on. When journalists sought to know whether Buhari government, Osinbajo government, Sanwo-Olu government, Dapo Abiodun government, Ekiti state government, Kwara state government, Kogi state government, Osun state, because all these are part of this government, apart from probably PDP that is not member of APC, but they are all the same. When Toberi lower federal government was not disposed to political solution to the separatist agitation of the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and the Yoruba nationalists, our own Chief Sunday Adeyemo, known as Sunday Igboho, Malami, the Attorney General of the Federation, said although such consideration was not yet on the table, the government would not mind taking a shot at it. Let me say this clearly. Just as we all seen it before, you cannot trust the government. And you know why? The same government that has enabled, allowed all these terrorists to be given freedom, but yet those that are demanding self-determination have been kept. They're charging her for terrorism. Whereas the real terrorists have been pardoned, moving around across Nigeria. Let's come back to the British policy. Investment by Shell and BP, then, before the outbreak of the war in 1967, is worth about 200 million pounds. Shell have much to lose if the federal military government do not achieve the expected victory, George Thomas, Labour Commonwealth Minister, noted in August 1967. He added, the sole immediate British interest in Nigeria is that the Nigerian economy should be brought back to a condition in which our substantial trade and investment in the country can be further developed, and particularly we can regain access to important oil installations. You might want to come out of the broadcast and come back in. There's nothing wrong with this audio now. The audio is back. Now, let's go to the next line. UK supplies of arms which eventually enabled the Nigerian government to win the war, including millions of rounds of ammunition, hundreds of machine guns and grenades, thousands of mortar and artillery, bombs, aircraft, and armored personnel carrier. Who is now also giving all these ammunition, machine guns, grenade, mortar, artillery bombs, aircraft, and armored personnel carrier to the federal government so that they can continue not to kill the terrorists, but to make genocide, crime against humanity in the other part of the region. These supplies, all these supplies were massively stepped up while Labour Prime Minister Harold Wilson was telling the UK Parliament, divide in Nigeria, it is not working, it is not viable. Don't try to unite us. You cannot unite us because even if we don't fight it now, the next generation will still fight it. Even if the next generation don't fight it, one generation would not accept one particular tribe dominating every sector, every part of Nigeria. It doesn't matter whether your governor is a Yoruba man. It doesn't matter whether your politicians and the House of Reps are Yoruba. The majority in the Senate as we speak today, as Nigeria has been cooked and put together, means that the northern part of the country has more opportunity and say in those legislative in Abuja. So even if you say that we should go into what Malami is trying to say here, that why not look at those options for political solution? What do they mean by political solution on the case of Nnamdi Kanu and Sunday Igboho? Because already those options were put to Buhari when our father, the Ojaja II, Ooni of Ife, visited Buhari on the issue of Sunday Igboho. Let's hear what our king said that Buhari told him. I want Sunday Igboho, after meeting with Buhari government, that this man is not telling us, the AGF, about political solution. Our king was there to talk to Buhari, but our king says, Chief Sunday Igboho, he didn't listen. Kò gbọ́ràn. Gbogbo bá ṣe ń sọ fún kò gbọ́ sí wa lẹ́nu nítorí pé ọ̀tọ̀ ni àwọn tí ó ń gbọ́ sí lẹ́nu. Àwa tá ń sọ fún kò gbọ́ sí wa lẹ́nu. But níjọ́ náà lọ́hùn ní 1967 kí ogun Biafra tó sọ̀kalẹ̀, àwọn Britain investment wọn níjọ́ náà lọ́hùn was close to 200 million pounds. Ẹ bá wa calculate 200 million pounds sí wákàtí sásìkò yìí ká tẹ̀ mọ èlò ló jẹ́ ní náírà. Ẹ rí i pé owó yẹn kò ṣòwò kékeré rárá. And that is why tá bá lọ wo fídíò yìí tí mo fẹ́ play nísìnyí, which I'm bringing up to you. Wọ́n bi Búbú pé ǹjẹ́ wàá rówó yẹn gbà, ẹja gbọ́n tó sọ níbí.
Mr. President, would you like to see an apology from the Prime Minister?
No, not at all.
Why not? Are you embarrassed by what he said?
He wants his money back.
Are you embarrassed by what he said?
No, I'm not.
Is Nigeria fantastically corrupt?
Yes. He just wants his money back. All the money in Nigeria accounts, he wants it back. You better give it back.
What money?
The corrupt money in British banks.
How much?
What a lot of
The corrupt money in British bank, ẹja tún play lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí. Wọ́n bi Buhari pé ǹjẹ́ Prime Minister tó ń sọ fún ẹ pé Nigeria is fantastically corrupt. Ó ní yes, it is fantastically corrupt. Bàbá kejì yẹn ìyẹn ń dá wọn lóhùn pé owó wà níbí báyìí náà, gbogbo owó tí ẹ jí ó wà ní UK bank. Àwa tí a ń ṣiṣẹ́ níbí àtẹ̀rí lóhùn gbà, ààrẹ access gbà àmọ́ wọ́n ń tọ́jú wa à ń gbègbè àlàáfíà bọ̀ à ń ṣiṣẹ́ takuntakun iṣẹ́ tó yẹ ká lọ máa ṣe nílé fórílẹ̀-èdè tiwa ká lè develop à ń ṣe nílùú òyìnbó à ń ṣe 13 hours ǹjẹ́ tó bá jẹ́ pé wọ́n ń sanwó owó tó ń san fún ẹ ní NHS níbí ǹjẹ́ òrí lọ ṣerú iṣẹ́ yẹn náà nílẹ̀ Yorùbá láti make sure pé a tọ́jú àwọn èèyàn wa àwa jókòó síbí àwọn ẹlẹ́nu gbàrògbàsò àwọn ìyáwó èrè tó wà káàkiri tó wà ní Europe tó jẹ́ pé àwọn kan lọ́jàjà fún wọn máa ní àwọn ajíkẹ́kà àwọn bàbá wèrè àwọn bàbá tó ti sán lórí àwọn jókòó pẹ̀lú àwọn fámìlì wọn ní bíbà but ẹ̀yin tí ẹ wà nílé ẹ jẹ́ kí ara yín tètè yá mọ̀ pé wọn ò nífẹ̀ẹ́ yín rárá if you think because they are there giving you 10 kobo 20 kobo they love you so much the British knows the amount of stolen wealth in this country by Nigerians, Yorubas, Igbo, Hausa, Fulani. What are they doing with this money? It's just the same thing before 1967.
Mr. President, would you like to see an apology from the Prime Minister?
No, not at all.
Why not? Are you embarrassed by what he said?
He wants his money back.
Are you embarrassed by what he said?
No, I'm not.
Is Nigeria fantastically corrupt?
Yes. He just wants his money back. All the money in Nigeria accounts, he wants it back. You better give it back.
What money?
Corrupt money in British banks.
How much?
Quite a lot. And that is what we were told, just as we now know that in that period of 1967, these supplies were massively stepped up while Labour Prime Minister Harold Wilson was telling the British Parliament, tí gbogbo yín máa ń rí ta máa ń lọ lójoojúmọ́, ta ló ń ṣe campaign, ta ló ń protest, tó ń ṣe wípé wọ́n mọ tó ń lọ. You think Britain don't know what is going on? Do you think they don't know what is going on? They know everything that is going on. They're just looking at us as fools. They're looking at us as fools. And then everybody now is running around with one video. You don't have to agree with that person. But one video of somebody that was picked up for terrorism, while the real terrorists are in Nigeria, being supplied weapons by the same country that is picking somebody for terrorism act. Does that make sense? I'm asking. It makes sense. So why are we excited that somebody was picked up for terrorism when the real terrorists, in their thousands, let's go and look at their faces, they free Boko Haram. They free them. They're asking for our forgiveness. Free Boko Haram asking for forgiveness. When you can forgive them, is that not what they're saying? Boko Haram is asking for forgiveness, and the Nigerian government is forgiving them. They are asking for forgiveness. Have you all forgotten that in early beginning of this year, in August, these individual criminals, the army distributed aṣọ tuntun, ìwọ aṣọ olùkù ló ń wọ̀, bọ́sí kọ́nà kò yẹ wò, òun ni wọ́n ń wọ̀, bọ́sí kọ́nà bra, òun ló ń wọ̀, bọ́sí kọ́nà pátá, bọ́sí kọ́nà ṣòkòtò, bọ́sí kọ́nà ẹ̀wù, gẹ́gẹ́ bí ọmọ yunifásitì Nàìjíríà, ó dẹ̀ sì ń sọ́pọ́tì wọ́n Nàìjíríà. Ó sì ń ṣe wọ́n Nàìjíríà níbi tí wọ́n ti ń sọ pé àwọn top Boko Haram commanders are begging for Nigerians for forgiveness. And they kept Nnamdi Kanu and then Chief Sunday Igboho inside a lock up, because that is what the federal government and those traitors, we talked about it earlier, àwọn wo ni wọ́n ṣe?
Traitor.
Igbo traitor,
Traitor.
Yoruba
Traitor.
traitor, Yoruba traitor. They want to keep us in one Nigeria so that you will continue. Didn't you see all this image? The army distributed new clothes, food items, groceries, toiletries to surrender terrorists and their families in Nigeria. And they are saying, Nigeria, please forgive us. Okay, where are they now? Terrorist Boko Haram fighters who surrendered to Nigerian soldiers last week held a love placard afterward, begging Nigeria for forgiveness, but they are charging Lady K for terrorism. Boko Haram, that has unleashed a reign of terror in Nigeria since 2009, killing more than 50,000, multiplied by 3, adopting 100, displacing millions of them, and that does not mean they've ended it. Let me come back to Twitter quickly and show you some of the current latest atrocity by the same Boko Haram terrorists. So let's quickly look at it. What has happened in the last couple of hours? Terrorists attack community in Mina local government of Niger State some 3 hours ago. Gunmen killed 15 persons in Karima, Lamido local government of Taraba some 4 hours ago. All this is happening in Nigeria, but yet our own Chief Sunday Igboho is being held in Benin Republic as we speak right now. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is being held in the custody of the DSS. But we have here this one saying, I surrender. I beg, make una forgive me. We are sorry. We are sorry. Ema Binu, we are sorry. That's what they're telling us, that they are sorry. And I pity those of you still thinking about 2023 election. I pity you. You know why I pity you? We don't know where all these guys are. Some of them have gone back in the bush after collecting money from the federal government. And some of them are nowhere to be found because we don't have any tag, anything on them to tell us where they are as we speak right now. But one thing you got to remember is it is not yet over until we get a referendum to opt out of that contraction called Nigeria. I hope it doesn't go break again. This is the reason why they're still holding Chief Sunday Igboho. And if you don't know, we can stand on our own. Let's hear what this person has to say. Again, traitor, abosi, traitor. And they still want to continue that in 2023. They're talking about APC. They're talking about PDP. They are campaigning to keep us together in one Nigeria.
Kí Yorùbá dúró tiẹ̀ kó padà sórí ilẹ̀ bàbá rẹ̀ kó lè máa gbé nǹkan tiẹ̀ káwùsá náà padà sáàyè tiẹ̀ àti Fúlàní kí Ìgbò náà padà sáàyè tiẹ̀ ta ni sọ fún wa pé yóò jẹ wá ta ló sọ fún wa pé yóò jẹ Yorùbá bí Yorùbá bá dá dúró ìwọ nìyà ọjẹ ìwọ tó ń gbèrò rẹ̀ nìyà ọjẹ ìran rẹ̀ nìyà ọjẹ yóò ṣe àjẹ wa ìyà ọjẹ wa bọ̀ látàmẹ́ta tí ń bá bọ̀ yóò ṣe àjẹ lónìí ìyà ọjẹ wa o. Ibi ọ̀rọ̀ Ọlọ́run ní kẹ́ ẹ padà sí bọ́lọ́run ti pín jọ́kìlì àná ó ti fi rifanáìjà ó ti fi pín fún yín oníkálùkù ọlọ́ máa ṣèjọba tiẹ̀ láàyè rẹ̀ èyí tá a dàpọ̀ lónìí ló dàdánwò sí wa lọ́rùn a lè mú ó dá ní ìsìn gbélé yìí bá lo tiẹ̀ jọba la tó fẹ́ fà kalẹ̀ gbèsè tẹ́lẹ̀ ti jẹ́lẹ̀ ní ìsìn ìjọba tí ń bọ̀ ò lè rí san tán wàláhì bẹ́ẹ̀ bá ronú kẹ́ ẹ wo pé kí ló tún kù tẹ́ fẹ́ ṣe. Mo fi Ọlọ́run ọba ṣẹ̀rí ọlọ́mọdé akúnnú yà yìí ìran Yorùbá lè ní bá wí o ìran Yorùbá ẹ dìde ńlẹ̀ ẹ má fọwọ́ yẹkẹrẹ mú ọ̀rọ̀ yìí bí wọ́n bá ti dàgbà tó ò ní kankan tó fẹ́ ṣe láyé má rántí pé àwọn kan ń bọ̀ lẹ́yìn gbogbo àgbàgbà lẹ Yorùbá mo lẹ lọ ẹ̀yin ọ̀dọ́ náà mo lẹ ń lọ bẹ́ẹ̀ bá darí lọ síbi bọ́lọ́run bá ṣe ṣe ń jọ́kìnrí àná tó ní kálukú dáwà tó ní kálukú ń ṣèjọba tiẹ̀ láyé ara tiẹ̀ wàláyé àlè rójú tó sọ̀rọ̀ Nàìjíríà yìí.
Lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí ẹ ti láǹfààní àti darapọ̀ mọ́ wa níbikíbi tí ẹ ti ń wò wá. Orúkọ tèmi ni Ọláyọmí Kóìkì tí gbogbo yín mọ̀ sí KOIKIMEDIA. Why are we asking the world to look into this option? The option that gives us much more opportunity than the opportunity that we have now. Nigeria is never going to work because we are not one. We can never be one. Even if they try to shut us down now, the next generation will still demand to opt out from Nigeria. Even if they try to make sure that we do not move forward, the next generation will demand to opt out from Nigeria. Nigeria has always been a country that was put together in 1914. And what they've done is, since 1914 till date, it has become an entity, business for certain groups of people, the Yorubas, the Hausa, the Fulani. But we all know the problem. We all know the problem. But we refuse to say the problem. And that is why today we are coming out again to say, part of that problem is here.
Tell this nation today that this is the problem. This constitution can never give us progress. This constitution can never give us peace. This constitution can never give us unity. And unfortunately, most of us in this National Assembly, we don't have the spine to face what we need to give this republic to have peace and progress. What do I mean? This constitution has 68 items. 68 on the exclusive list. This constitution has only 12 on the concurrent list. And those 12 are written so nebulously, so fraudulently, that you know that the intention is to even undermine those concurrent lists. The former name of this republic is Federal Republic of Nigeria. Unfortunately, we don't run a federalist system in Nigeria. Otherwise, what is so unique about all those things that are in the exclusive list in this chamber? We try to federalize the police system. In this chamber, we failed. Every crime is local. And the solution to every crime is local. The earlier that senators in Nigeria summoned the courage to say, we should not continue to deceive ourselves.
And we have been deceiving ourselves. And that deceit is why we are saying again that the option is still there to ask for referendum. And that referendum is not a crime. It does not matter how you see Nigeria in your own face. It is because if you are waiting for America, America say it is not our priority.
Complete solidarity against this and outrage against what happened in Paris, vis-a-vis what we see in Nigeria, which is truly not, it should not be surprising. Look, what's happening in Nigeria is barbarous. It's horrible. I mean, it's complete madness, yet it's not a priority. The United States unilaterally could do almost anything it needs to do. It would be a long-term effort, but it could be done. And the United States has the capability. All the elements of power, we have those.
So why not?
It's not a priority. That's the problem. We are committed elsewhere in the world. Black West Africa is not a priority. Very stark, very hard to say, but that's the case right now.
That is the case right now, and that is why we are saying, let us ask for referendum. The referendum is the only option. Nothing more than that. Anything above referendum, we're not going to take it. We want referendum. Give us the referendum. Let us decide if we want to be part of Nigeria. Let us decide if Nigeria is truly working for us. Let us make our minds up if truly Nigeria is for us. And Nigeria is for you. I can only pity you because you are still not understanding the havoc that Nigeria will create, the havoc that Nigeria will do, the havoc that Nigeria is pushing on every single one of us on a daily basis. Whether you live in the southeast, whether you live in the southwest, whether you live in the middle belt, whether you live in Katsina, in Sokoto, in Niger, in Kaduna, in Abuja, in Lagos, in Kogi, Kwara, Ondo, in Enugu, Port Harcourt, and you are not seeing the problem now, it is just a matter of time. That problem is not going anywhere because already the jihadists are already living among us. And they are also breathing every day. They are also giving birth. You don't know that. The same way you are giving birth, trying to become somebody in Nigeria, and we know they are trying to make sure they take as much out of Nigeria. And one day, every single one of us would have to eat that breakfast. That breakfast that we are all running away from is getting closer. That breakfast that you don't want to eat is getting closer to us. And we can end it now by asking the world that if care is not taken, things will go the other way around. We still have the option now. You cannot continue to put injustice among the southeast, the Biafrans, the Middle Belt, and even the Hausas, not to talk about the Yorubas. The Yorubas have been marginalized, just as every other part of the region have been marginalized as well. And the only thing we are demanding now is give us the option to agree whether we still want to be part of it. And if those of you say, well, let us manage it, we can walk around it, we can fix it. You can't fix the problem. The problem is something that is
Society wants you to become,
and the society that you thinking that is going to solve the problem. This is the message for those of you waiting for that society.
no society wants you to become wise. It is against
Okay, bear with us. Once again, it seems the network. Okay, we might come back out again on that. We'll come back in later. Let's see if that video plays, if otherwise.
the investment of all societies. If people are wise, they cannot be exploited. If they are intelligent, they cannot be subjugated. They cannot be forced in a mechanical life to live like robots. They will assert their individuality. They will have the fragrance of rebellion around them. They would like to live in freedom. Freedom comes with wisdom, and no society wants people to be free. The communist society, the fascist society, the capitalist society, the Hindu, the Mohammedan, the Christian, no society would like people to use their own intelligence. Because the moment they start using their intelligence, they become dangerous. Dangerous to the establishment, dangerous to the people who are in power, dangerous to the haves, dangerous to all kinds of oppression, exploitation, suppression, dangerous to the churches, dangerous to the states. In fact, a wise man is a fire, alive, a flame. He would like rather to die than to be enslaved.
And the question is, ṣé ẹrú la ṣe fẹ́ máa ṣe ni? Ǹjẹ́ a fẹ́ òmìnira àbí a fẹ́ máa ṣẹrú títí ni? Ṣé bí a ṣe ń rí gbogbo nǹkan tó ń lọ lójoojúmọ́, ṣé bẹ́ẹ̀ náà la fẹ́ ni? Ṣé kọ́kọ́rọ́ la fẹ́ mú ni àbí a fẹ́ mú búrẹ́dì yẹn? Èwo gan là ń lénu gbogbo ẹ̀? Ṣé kọ́kọ́rọ́ yẹn la fẹ́ mú ni àbí a fẹ́ mú búrẹ́dì yẹn? Tó bá jẹ́ pé kọ́kọ́rọ́ la fẹ́ mú ni, ẹ jẹ́ ká gbìyànjú ká má fi falẹ̀, ká tètè mú kọ́kọ́rọ́ yẹn. Tó bá dẹ̀ jẹ́ pé búrẹ́dì la fẹ́ mú, ẹ jẹ́ ká kúkú lé búrẹ́dì yẹn lọ, ká dẹ̀ mọ̀ pé kọ́kọ́rọ́ yẹn à ń tọ́jú ẹ̀ pamọ́ ni fúnjọ́ míì. Àmọ́ àwa kan fẹ́ bread, kọ́kọ́rọ́ yẹn la fẹ́. A fẹ́ túra wa sílẹ̀ nínú oko ẹrú tó kó wa sí. A fẹ́ túra wa sílẹ̀ nítorí pé a ti pẹ́ nínú ìyà yìí. Ìyà yìí ò dẹ̀ lọ, ó sì wà pẹ̀lú wa ni. Gbogbo wa pátápátá la ti ṣe wàhálà títí lẹ́yìn odi. Pẹ̀lú gbogbo wàhálà tá a máa ń ṣe, a máa tí yọjú, a máa tí kúrò nínú wàhálà tí ìjọba Nàìjíríà àti àwọn aráàlú òyìnbó tí wọ́n ń kó wa lẹ́rú níjọ́ náà lọ́hùn. And we can do whatever we need to do now before it is too late. The key is in our hands, but it's up to us to see how to get the key and unlock that gate. It is not going to be easy, but the journey that we have started, we must accelerate it. But it seems some organizations, some individuals, some groups of people are probably not interested in getting that key. They are slowing down the process to get the key, but they are moving a little bit more faster to push the bread closer to us. Like I said, whatever video that is circulating on Chief Sunday Igboho, I will probably not even put it on a column of interest. It's just another kind of a rumor. Yes, he needs to go for a medical treatment. That he's been poisoned is just a rumor, and I will not go in line with that rumor. For those of you that must have come across that video that was released by somebody going back to what Anonymous said in terms of, some of their prediction on Chief Sunday Igboho. Anonymous are just organization. Anonymous are just some individuals. We don't know who is behind it. And there's so many things happening that we got to be very, very careful, because there are already so many traitors that are working with and against the government. The Nigerian government knows that there's a lot of pressure, and they can tell, they can feel the heat. And the heat is being felt by them on a daily basis. It's not something that they have to be told. It is something that is now clearer and visible. If you go around the world on a daily basis, whether somebody is discussing Nigeria, or somebody is discussing about the breakup of Nigeria, or somebody out there is trying to unite Nigeria, you cannot unite Nigeria. You cannot. It is not possible anymore. Trying to unite Nigeria at this present hour is a waste of time. It does not matter how many people might listen to what we are saying, but by the time that atrocity get closer to them, they will understand. They will feel it, just as some of us are feeling it now. The problem is existing. We also know that some Yorubas are part of this criminal act, operating on the feelings that it's all about the Fulani terrorizing us. But the question is, it's very easy to track down and put the face of a Yoruba terrorist out there. But it is very difficult to give us the face of the Boko Haram terrorists that have terrorized every part of Nigeria today. The northern part of the country is hot. The southern part of the country is hot. The southwest is the same thing. But we are now saying, let us all demand to opt out of Nigeria. Nigeria is a crime scene. Nigeria is only useful to those that have the money, and they are preparing that money to bribe everybody for 2023. They have it in dollars, they have it in naira, even though the naira has depreciated as much as you might think of. But we are saying now to the international community, don't look away, because 2023 that is fast approaching is a shaker table. But people might say it will happen. 2023 will come. But even some of your pastors have also told us 2023 might not be possible, even though we know that already. But let's hear what some of those elections in the past have offered those at home.
Last election, I went to where I usually vote, and behold, a woman over 80 just standing in my front when money was being distributed. Kí n sọ Yorùbá, wọ́n ń pín owó. Ìyá fi mí sílẹ̀, ó lọ gba owó. Mo wọ kásọ̀tò mo dé fìlà tí mo máa ń dé nítorí òòrùn. Kí ni ìyá sọ ìgbà tí ìyá dé? Ìyá ní bíṣọ̀bù ó jẹ́ yọ agbátẹrẹ náà.
And that is what they've done.
The last election, I went to where I usually vote. And behold, a woman over 80, just standing in my front when money was being distributed. Kí n sọ Yorùbá, wọ́n ń pín owó. Ìyá fi mí sílẹ̀, ó lọ gba owó. Mo wọ kásọ̀tò mo dé fìlà tí mo máa ń dé nítorí òòrùn. Kí ni ìyá sọ ìgbà tí ìyá dé? Ìyá ní bíṣọ̀bù ó jẹ́ yọ agbátẹrẹ náà.
And that is what all your politicians are getting ready for you in 2023. But this is what they're scared of.
I'm getting like a thief. The love is too much. 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 Jack, come on. Let's go. For the island of black. Navy blue check. Jack, come on. 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 Don't see no. Don't see no.
Once again, as we are almost bringing the program to an end in just about 25 minutes from now, let us remind ourselves. People at home are confused. They are lost completely now. But one thing is, it is the job of myself and you to do the needful, to tell them they've lived in pain for a very long time. Bread, nothing take back, lati joy. We're trying to set them free. Not me. We're all trying to set ourselves free from the bondage that we've been kept. But they're going to come out with all kind of beautiful stuff, beautiful words that will use different people to tell our people again that 2023 is the only option to save them from those abnormality that they witness on a daily basis in Nigeria. Wama wope 2023 tumbo oluma bamosile. But in everybody's house, Tolukalukungbe, somebody in that house is trying to make sure they can exit out of Nigeria for a better, greener pasture, regardless of wherever they're going. We are saying now, it is not about me. I am outside. I live very comfortable within my means. I can access everything I want because I've already paid into the services as well, or into the system. So if I need to go to the hospital now, just as you saw it the other day, I can only just walk in and do the needful and then I'm gone. If I need to go for eye test, I can just go and do the needful. If I'm looking for a job right now, remember the last time we went to the hospital, right? And I was able to tell you that it is not until you know somebody. It is the service that is there to support everybody, whether you are rich, whether you are poor, whether you live in the northern part of the country or you live in the south end part of the country. It is called NHS. And NHS is there to save lives. NHS is there to also create jobs for those that are looking for work. You can do so many things right from their website without going to see anybody, without knowing anybody in that hospital. Nigeria nìkan ló ti máa fẹ́ ṣe anything tó fẹ́ ṣe nínú Nigeria hospital. Wàá kọ́kọ́ máa wá ẹni tó mọ̀yàn ní hospital yẹn tó lè ràn ẹ́ lọ́wọ́. But lọ́dọ̀ tiwa, gbogbo tá à ń wò yìí can be implemented. Ìbéèrè tó yẹ kéèyàn máa bi àwọn ni pé ṣé a ní access láti ṣe gbogbo kìíní kò ń ṣe pé àwọn èèyàn fi ṣe fún wọn that they will be paid, but they will rather not want you to have it, and that is why we are saying, just an example now, let me find an hospital that is closer to me. Let me look for an hospital that I might want to visit. Let's go to Southwest, right? And I click search. Okay, it doesn't come up with anything Southwest. So let's go straight to, let's go to Haringey, right? Let's go to Haringey. What are the hospitals closer to me from Haringey? You can go to St. Anne's Road. There's an hospital there. It's an NHS. You can go to the Onse Central Neighborhood Healthcare. You can go to Whittington Hospital. And it also tells you some of their breakdown. Patients are seen within 4 hours. So let's go to Whittington Hospital because I need to visit them as an example. Let's look at it. Whittington Hospital is part of Whittington Health, which provides general hospital and community services to more than 500,000 people. Tongbeni, Agbegbe, Islington, and Haringey, as well as other London boroughs, including Barnet, Enfield, Camden. Hospital yìí nísìnyí tó wà ní Whittington tí gbogbo àwọn tó wà ní Nàìjíríà tó jẹ́ politician yìí náà láǹfààní àti wọlé sí tó ń lọ wá ń gba ìwòsàn tó wá ń ṣe àwọn surgery tó yẹ kó ṣe nílé ní University of Ibadan General Hospital ní gbogbo hospital tó wà ní àyíká wa, but they can't do it, but they are coming down to Europe to come and do it. Let's go further. The organization was established in April 2011 following the merge of Whittington Hospital NHS Trust with NHS Islington and NHS Haringey Community Services. We have an income of £281 million. Owó yẹn mà ni mo máa sọ pé àwọn Britain ní investment nígbà yẹn. Look at that. In 1967, before the Biafra War, Shell àti BP amounted to around their own was partly owned by the British government, amounted to around £200 million níjọ́ náà long. In Thomas just pé hospital tí bíbá máa ń lò ní. In case you don't want to, you're not saying it, let me increase it a little bit so you can have a proper view of it. Now, can you see that? The organization was established in April 2011 following the merge of Whittington Hospital NHS Trust with NHS Islington, NHS Haringey Community Health Services. We have an income of almost £280 million, and they have about 4,000 staff delivering care across North London in the Whittington Hospital from almost 30 locations in Islington and Haringey as one organization providing both hospital and community services. We are known as Integrated Care Organization. Ìbéèrè tí mo wá ń bì wọ́n tó ń wò mí, tó ń gbé ní gbogbo káàárọ̀ òjíire, have you been able to get quality health care services ever since you've been born in Nigeria? Ǹjẹ́ arákọ̀ọ̀rọ̀ ẹ díẹ̀ o kò lè lọ sí hospital kó yẹ̀ ẹ́ wò kó dẹ̀ padà sílé? Ǹjẹ́ inú lè mú ẹ kó wọnú hospital lọ kó wo ohun tó wà níbẹ̀ kó tọ́jú ẹ kó dẹ̀ padà lọ sílé? Kí ló dé tẹ́ ṣe wọ́n ń sọ pé ẹ fẹ́ Nàìjíríà? Kí ni nǹkan tẹ́ ń rí nínú Nàìjíríà yẹn gangan? Ṣé ìwòsàn lẹ́ ń rí nínú Nàìjíríà ni àbí education lẹ́ ń rí nínú Nàìjíríà? Kí ni nǹkan tẹ́ ń rí gangan nínú Nàìjíríà yẹn? Ṣé welfare lẹ́ ń rí nínú Nàìjíríà ni? Ǹjẹ́ wọ́n ń tọ́jú ẹni tó jẹ́ arúgbó? Ǹjẹ́ wọ́n ń tọ́jú ẹni tó jẹ́ omidan? Ǹjẹ́ tó bá ṣe tán ní yunifásítì, ǹjẹ́ o ní iṣẹ́ tí o lè lọ ṣe? And let's look for job from this Whittington Hospital. A fẹ́ wá ṣe lọ sínú bẹ̀. Mo fẹ́ wò bí àwọn oníṣẹ́ tí mò ń wá. Torí pé ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ yín ẹ rò pé bí a torí pa ṣe social media àníṣẹ́ ta lè ṣe àwa níṣẹ́ ta tún lè ṣe ǹjẹ́ wọ́n níṣẹ́ tó lè ṣe gẹ́gẹ́ bí ẹni tó ṣe tán nílé ìwòsàn. Let's look at an example. This is now their website. Mo ní láti mọ èèyàn kankan, mo ní láti pẹ́ anybody. Work with us. Tó bá jẹ́ pé mo fẹ́ ṣiṣẹ́ níbí báyìí ní hospital yìí, mo ní láti mọ babaláwo, mo ní láti mọ pastor, mo ní láti mọ àfáà. In tí mo ní láti ṣe ni pé ǹjẹ́ mo ní the right qualification fún iṣẹ́ tí mo ń wá. Tí mo ò bá ní the right qualification, ǹjẹ́ ó jẹ́ kí n lọ sí school, kí n lọ kọ́ ìmọ̀ díẹ̀ sí bóyá fún oṣù mẹ́ta ni, oṣù méjì ni, ọ̀sẹ̀ kan ni, kí n wá ṣẹ̀ padà wá. Bó tó bá jẹ́ pé the basic kan ni mò ń wá, ẹ jẹ́ ká wo current job vacancy wọn, ká dẹ̀ wo ìtọ́ ń gbà. Now wọ́n ti pín sí ọ̀nà 6. So nígbà tí mo dórí website wọn nísìnyí, ó ti jẹ́ kó yé mi pé ṣé nursing àbí midwifery ni mo fẹ́. Nígbà tí mo dẹ̀ mọ bó ṣe ń tọ́jú ọmọ bí ọmọ tó fẹ́ bí, mo ò mọ bó ṣe ń ṣe midwifery, mo sì lè fìyẹn sẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́. Ǹjẹ́ medical àbí dental, gbogbo àwọn bàbá yín tó ti ń sọ Nàìjíríà, eyín wọn ti jógóró, ẹ lè lọ tọ́jú eyín yẹn. Ìwọ ọmọ ò níṣẹ́ lọ́wọ́, ìwọ bàbá ò níṣẹ́ lọ́wọ́, ìwọ obìnrin ò níṣẹ́ lọ́wọ́. Ǹjẹ́ o lè tọ́jú àwọn parent ẹ tí eyín bá ń dùn wọ́n gẹ́gẹ́ bí àgbàlagbà? Iṣẹ́ fáwọn tí wọ́n mọ̀ pa nìyẹn. Allied health profession, wọ́n tún pè kan ní healthcare service science, wọ́n pa àwọn kan ní support service, wọ́n pa àwọn kan ní administrative. Ẹ jẹ́ ká máa ṣe wò lẹ́yẹ kọ̀ọ̀kan ká tẹ̀ sọ pé mo ní qualification for nursing and midwifery. Iṣẹ́ wo ni mo lè ṣe? Èló gan ló máa san fún mi? Ìjẹ́ṣẹ́ yẹn máa tẹ́ mi lọ́rùn? Ǹjẹ́ mo fẹ́ràn owó yẹn? Now ẹni tó bá ń ṣe practice development nurse tó specialize ní nursing, àìmọye ẹ̀yin tí ẹ ṣe nursing, ẹ jọ ìyàn kan pè wá lórí ètò ní ìjọ tí mo lọ sí ọ̀dọ̀ dókítà mi. Tí arákùnrin yẹn bá ń gbọ́ mi ní Ìkòròdú, ẹni kó pè mí. Tó bá dẹ̀ ń gbọ́ mi, ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ pè mí, nítorí pé arábìnrin tí a bá sọ̀rọ̀ yẹn, àwọn kan ti pè mí lẹ́yìn, wọn náà fẹ́ bá wọn sọ̀rọ̀. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́ tẹ́ bá ń gbọ́ ètò yìí, arákùnrin kan pè wá láti Ìkòròdú axis tí mo rí obìnrin kan bá sọ̀rọ̀ ní ẹ̀gbẹ́ ẹ̀ tó náà ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ tán nursing ni. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ sọ fún onítọ̀hún kó pè mí. Ní wọ́n fẹ́ fún níṣẹ́ o, kẹ́ má kàn máa pè mí lẹ́yìn ètò. Gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí ẹ̀ ń gbọ́ ètò yìí, èèyàn kan ló pè, wọ́n ní interest sí arábìnrin yẹn ni, kò ń ṣe ọkùnrin ló ní interest sí o, bọ̀ lára àwọn èèyàn wa ní ibi báyìí lọ́ ní kí n ní kó pe àwọn. So mo dẹ̀ nídìí nọ́mbà arákùnrin yẹn, moment tó jẹ́ o, so kí àwọn kan má pè, kẹ́ má dì sí àìpẹ́ yìí ni. That's not what we are saying. Now tó bá wá fẹ́ gbaṣẹ́, all you need to look at is, wow, ọmọ nursing average salary 40,000 to 45,000 pounds on pro rata. Arenge anticipatory care nursing associate, wọ́n máa ń san 22,000. Ẹni tó bá specialize ní community rehab. Ṣé rí gbogbo àwọn iṣẹ́ yìí ó wà nílé tí a lè dá sílẹ̀, kò ń ṣe nínú Nàìjíríà o. Ṣé rí gbogbo àwọn tí ẹ̀ ń pè ní wèrè, àwọn kan ló máa tọ́jú wọn. Àwọn tó ara wọn yá gan, èèyàn kan ló máa tọ́jú ẹ̀. Bíyàn bá wá máa jẹ́ pé ó bá ní industry tó ń ṣiṣẹ́, àwọn tó ń ṣiṣẹ́ yẹn náà máa rẹ̀ wọ́n díẹ̀, hospital ló máa wá. Àwọn kan ló máa train tó máa fún níṣẹ́ yẹn. Why are you trying to keep Nigeria? Why are you trying to save Nigeria? You are a university student. O ṣì ń struggle nínú university. Kí ló guarantee pé tó bá tẹ̀ ṣetán ní university wà á ríṣẹ́? Ìwọ ọmọ polytechnic, kí ló guarantee pé tó bá ṣetán wà á ríṣẹ́? These are the reasons why we are saying we can disintegrate out of Nigeria. Don't tell me we want to fix Nigeria. You cannot fix Nigeria. Nigeria is a British empire. Nigeria is a British country that they still want to hold on to. But they are using the influence of our traitor politicians to continue to deceive you, the citizen. And you can see the job is always there. Nursing assistant is about 20,000 pounds to 21,000 pounds. Occupational health nursing advisor. Iṣẹ́ yìí o lè wá lọ kọ́ ní school tó bá jẹ́ pé o ò bá tẹ̀ mọ ìmọ̀ yẹn. Within 3 years, ẹ jẹ́ ká lọ sọ pé mo fẹ́ lọ sí university padà nísìn, mo fẹ́ lọ kọ́ nursing courses, mo ń wá university tó lè kọ́ mi so that tí lè bá ṣe kí lè wá lọ make owó rẹpẹtẹ, kí lè máa tọ́jú àwọn èèyàn, nítorí pé mo like láti máa tọ́jú àwọn èèyàn, mo like láti máa sọ̀rọ̀. Can I get a degree in a university? Èló ni máa san? Kí ni access tí máa ní? Let's go to Middlesex University, London. Sori pé nísìn by undergraduate open event ó máa ṣẹlẹ̀ ní Ìjọ Saturday yìí as an example, right? On campus between 9:30 and 2 p.m. or láti online, you can book your place. So bó ṣe wà nísìn, tí bá fẹ́ lọ, mo lè book ẹ̀, màá lọ síbẹ̀, màá forúkọ mi sí, màá fi gbogbo data mi sí, màá ṣe kí ni, màá submit ẹ̀, which I might do. I can just go there and do, just like what I normally do. It's called an open day. Maybe after the program, I'll see if I can book it, but I'm not going to put my details now so that, it doesn't go on the social media. Now, let's come back to the courses. Iṣẹ́ nursing la fẹ́ kọ́. Ǹjẹ́ mo lè rí nursing kọ́? So all I have to do is go to under health. Okay? Now, ṣorí pé tó bá ti click health, wàá wá lọ sí nursing. So wàá lọ sí nursing or midwife. Now, ibi tó ti máa kọ́kọ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ léléyìí o. Tó bá ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ láti bíbà, ibi tó ti máa wá lọ máa wá iṣẹ́ lẹ́yìn ìgbà tó bá ṣe ọdún 3 tán, tí wọn náà máa jùgbá. Torí gbogbo àwọn àǹtí ẹ̀ tó ń wò yẹn, tó ń ṣe wàhálà, tó ń ṣe 13 hours, 14 hours ní America, ní Canada, tó ń fowó ránṣẹ́ sí ẹ sílé, tó rò pé torí pé wọ́n ń gbowó tó pọ̀, wọ́n fẹ́ wá sílé, wọ́n kọ́lé sílé, wọ́n lè wá sílé nítorí pé ilé ò wà variable fún wọn mọ́. Ìwọ ló ń wo Nàìjíríà nítorí pé òun rí pẹpẹ súpù jẹ, òdẹ rí patí lọ, òrò ọmọge gbé, hòtẹ́ẹ̀lì wá sùn lọ káàkiri gbogbo ilẹ̀ Yorùbá, kò sí industry kankan. Àwa ń ṣe hallelujah náà dáa, àmọ́ hallelujah without industry. Okay, bí èèyàn bá tẹ̀ lọ sí church tó lọ gbàdúrà, ibo lẹ ti fi ṣiṣẹ́? Ṣé inú ṣọ́ọ̀ṣì yẹn náà lẹ ti máa ṣiṣẹ́ ni? Bí èèyàn bá tẹ̀ lọ ṣe àdúrà ní mọ́ṣáláṣí, ibo ló ti fẹ́ lọ fi ṣiṣẹ́? Ìwọ tó ń ṣe nursing nísìn, àná ọmọ tá a bá sọ̀rọ̀ yẹn, ẹni kó pè wá, ó ní àwọn 110 làwọn ṣe tán ní ó dárúkọ ibi tó ti ṣe tán ní Ogun State, but there is no job. Ìtí Chief Sunday Igboho máa ń jà fún lélẹ́yìn ni, ó ní ká mú kọ́kọ́rọ́, ká fi búrẹ́dì sílẹ̀. Ẹ̀yin ò dẹ̀ fẹ́ mú búrẹ́dì yẹn, ẹ fẹ́ fi búrẹ́dì sílẹ̀, búrẹ́dì yẹn gan lẹ fẹ́. Bá ṣe ń fà yín lọ́tùú, ìtọ́ náà ń fẹ́ nìyẹn. Ó ní ilẹ̀ Yorùbá, ó ní ìyà ń jẹ wá. Ẹ jẹ́ á padà sórí nursing nìyẹn, nítorí pé òun ni topic wa nísìn. Now, when you look at it, nurture your nursing career. Sórí bí ṣe wà báyìí nísìn, tó ń wo KOIKIMEDIA, bẹ́ẹ̀ tó níṣẹ́ lọ́wọ́. I can enroll on this program next year. Kò dẹ̀ sí nǹkan tó ní kí n máa enroll. I can enroll next year. And tí bá enroll, maximum ọdún 3 ni. Lẹ́yìn ọdún 3, èmi náà máa ṣe pé kí ni, bọ́ọ̀tẹ̀ ẹgbà mi as a full-time nurse. Wàá gbà. And they are always looking for nurse. Nítorí pé kò sẹ́ni tó wà láyé tásìkò kan máa wà tí kò ní ṣe bọ́dì díẹ̀. Òun la ṣe sọ pé ẹ fún bàbá wa Chief Sunday Igboho ní àyè kó lọ fún medical treatment. Èèyàn wà lójú kan for almost 4 months. Bí nǹkan kan bá tẹ̀ ṣe for 4 months lójú kan láì káàkiri, ẹni tó yẹ pé ó ti lọ ó ti bọ̀, ó ti lọ ó ti bọ̀, kò rí ìyàwó kò rọ́mọ. Ìdí ta ṣe ń jà nìyẹn, bọ̀ gbogbo ẹni tẹ́ ń gbọ́ pàlàpàlà káàkiri, wọ́n ti poison ẹjọ́ ẹgbẹ́ yẹn sẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́. Now, irú nursing wo ló fẹ́ kọ́? Ṣé mental health nursing ló fẹ́ kọ́ ni? Àwọn tó ń wo wèrè, àwọn tí kankan ṣe. Wọ́n bá dẹ̀ sọ fún àwọn tó ń wo wèrè, kò dìgbà tí ẹni tó yaṣọ ló jẹ́ wèrè. Some people go through mental distress. It could be for anything. Ó lè jẹ́ pé èèyàn kan kú nínú family wọn. Ó lè jẹ́ pé nǹkan kan ṣẹlẹ̀. Ó lè jẹ́ pé ṣọ́ọ̀kì kan ló wọlé. Kódà ṣọ́ọ̀kì ti Sunday Igboho ó wà lára ẹlòmíì. Ṣọ́ọ̀kì Nàìjíríà látijọ́ tí Nàìjíríà ti wà láyé ló ti wà lára àwọn bàbá wa kan, àwọn ìyá wa kan. Mental disorder náà ni. So ìyẹn náà wà bẹ́ẹ̀. So now nursing, ṣé adult wọn ló fẹ́ lọ kọ́ ni àbí tọmọ kéékèèké? Nursing, so different ones you can go for. And then kí ló máa wá ṣẹlẹ̀? Ká tẹ̀ sọ pé mo fẹ́ kọ́ lọ ṣe, èmi ò ṣe mental nurse, ẹ má bínú. Mo fẹ́ lọ ṣe normal nurse fún tàgbàlagbà, BSc. Now ìwọ náà wá wò nísìn. Ó ti sọ fún mi pé £9,250. Ìṣòro owó yẹn, ẹni tó bá jẹ́ UK citizen kò ní san, ó máa gba lóònù ni. Sórí ìwọ international student ti Britain tí Katrina Land tó ń sọ fún ẹ pé a máa fún yín ní student visa, èyí ló ń wá báyìí 14,000 international student. Èèyàn mélòó nílé ló ní 14,000? Ẹ jẹ́ bá mi ṣírò £14,000 sí owó yẹn ti di 764 láàárọ̀ yìí. 14,000 pounds. Àwọn politician nìkan ló lè rí owó yẹn jí Nàìjíríà. You are talking about 10 million. Ṣé bàbá ẹ àbí àwọn family ẹ má bínú, ǹjẹ́ wọ́n rí 10 million naira rí? Ibo ló ti fẹ́ rí 10 million tó fẹ́ fi ṣe nursing ní London? Ibo ló ti fẹ́ rí 10 million naira? Àfi tó bá yẹ kó ti tọwọ́ bọ ṣọpọlọ, àbí tó ti lọ ṣe oṣù ìgbà ilẹ̀ máa lọ́yìn ṣe ritual lẹ́yìn ṣe oríṣiríṣi. But it shouldn't be so. Ọmọ ìlú láti máa jẹ̀gbádùn ìlú ni. òun ṣe pọ̀ ọmọ Nàìjíríà nìyẹn ò jẹ̀gbádùn Nàìjíríà. Now look at it. Ó ti sọ fún mi nísìnyí pé wow, my code is B74. Ó máa bẹ̀rẹ̀ ní September next year. Sorry, it's only 3 years. From next year, Kabab sọ pé 2022 next year, 2023. Tí bá enroll lórí program yìí by 2024, tọ́lọ́run bá fún wa lálàáfíà tó fún wa lẹ́mìí gúgùn, màá ti parí kọ́ọ̀sì yìí. Kódà bí bá tẹ̀ fail, wá sì sọ pé mo try. Tó bá wá ṣe tán, tó ṣe nursing course yìí tán, wàá wá ṣẹ̀ máa wọ hospital tó fẹ́ lọ fi ṣiṣẹ́. Òun leléyìí o. Kí n wá sọ pé mo ti lọ ṣe course yẹn, mo ti ní lọ́wọ́. A dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ àwọn ìyá wa, àwọn bàbá wa, àwọn ògbón wa, tó ń ṣiṣẹ́ takuntakun pẹ̀lú NHS. Àwọn ló ń dé NHS mú, but àwọn náà fẹ́ padà wá sílé. Má sọ pé kọ́ wálé nísìnyí torí pé ilé ò ṣe wá. Kò ń ṣe inú Nàìjíríà. Nigeria is a crime scene. Now, if I have the qualification, all I have to do now is look at it again. It's a full-time contract, fixed term for 4 months. Ó ti sọ fún mi pé salary is between 40,000 pounds to 45,000 to start with on pro rata. Then application yóò máa close ní on the 16th, which is another 5 days from now. Interview day lẹ́sẹ̀kẹsẹ̀ ni. So wá rí interview yẹn o ní láti lọ bá director hospital yẹn kẹ́ kọ́kọ́ jọ gbéra yín lọ sóòtẹ́ kó fi nǹkan síbẹ̀ kí wọn náà gbà sára. O ní láti lọ rí anybody. You will just apply. Tó bá ní qualification yẹn lọ́wọ́ already. O ní láti wà máa láti scared. O ní láti bẹ̀rù. Right? And this is what we are saying. So wá rí gbogbo àǹfààní àwa náà máa ní tá bá ti nílẹ̀ wa. Torí gbogbo kọ́ọ̀sì tó ń ṣe ní ilẹ̀ ìkárọ̀ òjìrè nísìn nínú Nàìjíríà tó ń struggle, òun wọ́wọ́ lọ́tún, òun wọ́wọ́ lọ́sì. It's because you don't have a system in place. And that is why we are saying Nigeria is not viable for us. What kàn fi Nigeria yáwó. Go and look at the depth now. Let me show you the depth of Nigeria. You might not have seen it. Let's show you. Mbolowa. Ó ti kúrò lórí headline yẹn níbí báyìí. It was somewhere here before this morning. Once again, a very good morning. Nurse wá di pé wọ́n sá kúrò Nàìjíríà. Nurse wọ́n sá sorry again worker strike suspended. Irọ́ ni àwọn NLC àwọn yẹn ti gbowó lọ́wọ́ wọn. Àwọn tó kù àwọn ló máa jìyà. I'm trying to look for where. Okay, Timbari Mundeko delay me. Once again, a very good afternoon. It was somewhere around there, but I can't find it anymore, so I'm not sure where it has gone. Okay, okay, no, not this one. Our debt exchange rate 540 naira to $1. Ìyà tó ń bọ̀ ó máa dàbí marathon ni. All the money they're talking about, ask yourself where the monies are. So let me not lie down. Anyway, let's come back here. Now, Odisa, what are your main duties? Working for our organization. See job description, job role to support nurses on the ward, meet clinical competence, and have confidence to care for patients safely and compassionately. Ogún ọmọ tó sọ care. Kò sí care rárá ní Nàìjíríà. Kò sí bó ṣe lè lówó tó bá lọ sí hospital. Bí a díẹ̀ ló máa rí care lára àwọn nọ́ọ̀sì yẹn. Wọ́n máa jágbe mọ́ ẹ, wọ́n máa ṣe gbogbo ẹni. It's because there's stress in the system. So right now, I've given you what it takes to get a job in UK without knowing anybody, to first get qualification without knowing anybody. O ní láti lọ bá anybody. O ní láti mọ KOIKIMEDIA. O ní láti mọ anybody. All you need to do is register your interest. And that is what they're telling me here. Register my interest. And like I said, I fill in all my details, which I can do. But what we are saying is, gbogbo opportunity tèmi máa rí, ìwọ mà ní lè jẹ opportunity yẹn. Ìwọ mà ní lè rí opportunity yẹn. And the more you are saying one Nigeria, I'm sorry for you, the more your life will be very, very miserable. And you'll be miserable, I will be here. All those diaspora, Yoruba diaspora, tó ń ṣe wàhálà, they will be where they are, pẹ̀lú àwọn ọmọ wọn. But ìwọ ni ìyà máa jẹ. Kò yẹ nísìn. Ìwọ ni ìyà máa jẹ.
The life is too much. 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 Get over. Let's go. Navy blue check. Yakama. 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 That's it, bro. That's it, bro. I'm getting like confused. The love is too much. 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 Yakama. Yakama. Let's go. For the island of black. Navy blue check. Yakama.
Bàbá wà lórí ètò ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn tó ń wò wá èèyàn tó pè mí nísìn àwọn tó fún mi náà dá route kan mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ bàbá wa tó pè ṣe rí ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà nílé àánú yín ṣe wá gan and I'm being honest here now látàárọ̀ nísìn aago mẹ́ta ti lù 2 slices of bread péré ni mo jẹ kò ṣe pé kò sóúnjẹ nílé to be honest kò ṣe pé kò sóúnjẹ nílé rárá àánú wa ò ń ṣe yín ìyà yẹn ti pọ̀ jù the pain is too much ó dẹ̀ máa dé stage kan àwa tá à ń ṣe fún yín nílé we start looking back and say nah and that is why we're saying let us demand. Nigeria can never work. Don't let PDP, APC in all the Yoruba land to give you the impression that Nigeria is going to work. It's not going to work. It has been sold as a mortgage. What is Tasita? Ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wá wà níbẹ̀, ẹ wá máa ṣe wàhálà. Wà máa lọ láti Sango lọ sí Lekki. Almost 14 hours. Bí bá ń lọ sí London láti Nigeria, mo ti wọnú ilé mi, mo ti ṣọ́ra, mo ti wà lórí bẹ́ẹ̀. Aláwọn ọmọ wa tó lọ sí Kogi níjẹta, wọ́n débẹ̀ until the following day. Mo pity wọn gan. Program tẹ́ wò yẹn, tí gbogbo yín wò lánàá, àwọn ọmọ yẹn sùn ní sùn overnight before arriving to Kogi State. Inú ẹ̀ ní mọ́tò bàjẹ́, inú ẹ̀ ní títì ò dá, inú ẹ̀ ní ilẹ̀ ti ṣú, ó páàkì síbí kan, ó tún dàárọ̀ kan máa lọ mọ́tò tó ṣiṣẹ́. That is not a life. Kéèyàn gbéra láti Èkó tó ń lọ sí Kogi láti 8 o'clock láàárọ̀ wọ́n dẹ̀ débẹ̀ until the following day. And I'm not joking here now. Ó tún ní kanú èèyàn kan tí ó pè mí kó kọ̀ lọ sí station ó fẹ́ lọ bá wọn check nǹkan kan ní station wọ́n pè sí station àwọn bíi family ẹ̀ èèyàn kan dẹ̀ accuse ẹ̀ ẹni tí mò ń sọ yìí nísìnyí wọ́n ti hold ẹ̀ mọ́lẹ̀. Ọ̀rọ̀ tí mo sì ń sọ yìí nísìnyí ọ̀rọ̀ àná sì nìyẹn ní Nàìjíríà níbẹ̀ yẹn pé kéèyàn kọ̀ lọ sí station pé wọ́n kọ̀ pèèyàn nísìnyí pé wọ́n bá wa testify sí kínní nínú station yẹn èèyàn kan dẹ̀ ti point finger pé arákùnrin yìí ó jọ ẹni tí ó wá rọ́ọ̀bù wa ní POS. Wọ́n dẹ̀ ti mú sílẹ̀ káté agree pé òun ló lọ ṣiṣẹ́ yẹn. I'm just trying to play devil advocate nísìnyí. If a system was working, they should be able to trace, find out pé ṣé arákùnrin yẹn lóòótọ́ òun ló lọ rọ́ọ̀bù POS yẹn ní last week. Ẹ mọ bó ṣe máa find out. Nígbà tí arábìnrin tó ní wọ́n wá rọ́ọ̀bù wọn ní POS. Number one, tó bá yẹ pé Nàìjíríà tó ń ṣiṣẹ́ á ní CCTV tó máa protect because ẹni tó ń ṣiṣẹ́ POS because mo rántí pé girl tá à ń sọ tá náà wáyé náà nísìn tó ṣe nursing ó náà fẹ́ lọ ṣe POS. Iṣẹ́ tí gbogbo èèyàn ṣe nísìn nìyẹn kàn já síbi jama and hustle everybody kàn hustle. Now ẹni tó ń deal pẹ̀lú that kind of business in the environment that is working ó yẹ kó ní protection. Kí ni protection yẹn? That the system is also protecting her. Now kò sí any evidence ó kàn sọ pé ẹni yìí òun ni ẹni tá à ń sọ̀rọ̀ ẹni sí ó ti wà ní police station bá a ṣe ń sọ̀rọ̀ báyìí nísìnyí wọ́n ti dè mọ́ police station. Is that the kind of life you want? Àánú yín ló ń ṣàwà bàbá jókòó sí bíbá for another 30 years tí ìbá ti kọjá tí mo lè tán ní kíyàn ṣe níbí ṣẹ́ni gbogbo eléyìí tí mò ń sọ kí ní kan ìfìyàn is not above what we can say to the British government because the British government is aware of the problem. We know. And I can live here. I can work here. I can go back to kódà tí bá ṣe nursing tán. Mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ yín o bàbá wa tó pè mí tán nísìn. Thank you very much. Tí bá tún ṣe nursing yẹn tán pé kò tẹ́ mi lọ́rùn, mo tún lè upgrade. Can you upgrade? You watching me at home now. Why are you not looking at the future? Why are you looking at now? And one time if you nísinsìnyí, but you're not looking at the future. Ǹjẹ́ tẹ́ bá bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí bímọ? Can you put your hand in your chest that you will guarantee 3 square meal for those children? Stress it ló máa affect a lot of the Nigerians, or probably those that say we're not even Nigerians anymore outside. Stress it no power. We care, we think about you every day. À ń ronú nípa yín lójoojúmọ́. Ìrònú yẹn ló ń fún ẹlòmíì ní depression. Nígbà tó bá wo bàbá ẹ̀, tó wo ìyá ẹ̀, tó wo àwọn ará ilé, tó wo tí bá àníṣe àwọn ọ̀rẹ́ mi, wọ́n lè disagree pẹ̀lú tí mo ń ṣe. And there are so many of them like that. Wọ́n máa wò pẹ̀lú fake account. Because èmi ti yọra mi kúrò nínú group yẹn láti last year. But they cannot tell me now pé tọ́mọ ẹ̀ wá sick lára àwọn tájọ lọ sí Abẹ́òkúta Grammar School tó ń pè ní October 9095. Ẹni Koiki sọ lórí programming. Pé àwọn tó ń gbé nílé nísìn ṣé wọ́n lè guarantee pé tọ́mọ wọn bá sick láì lówó lọ́wọ́ wọ́n lè gbọ́mọ ẹ lọ sí hospital wọ́n lè máa fún ní care tọ́mọ yẹn fẹ́. Ṣé ìjà tèmi ni mò ń jà ni? Àmọ́ tèmi ní good care. Adúpẹ́ fọ́lọ́run. But we are talking about changing the system now. And point the finger. And lay shadow. And criticize. And wo àwọn ìyàwó èrè tó wà nílùú òyìnbó tó ti sán lórí àtàwọn bàbá tó wà nílùú òyìnbó tó ti sán lórí tó yẹ pé wọ́n ní padà wá sílé láti wá ṣe business. Irú business táwọn ń ṣe níta ìjẹ́ wọ́n lè operate business yẹn ní Nàìjíríà tẹ́lẹ̀. Gbogbo àwọn tó wà ní gbogbo Peckham, Dustin, gbogbo tí wọ́n ti ń operate business tó ń criticize pé àwọn tó ń ṣe Yorùbá nation wọ́n ní ṣe kinní kan ìjẹ́ wọ́n lè operate that same business ní Nàìjíríà. Ìjẹ́ àwọn bàbá yín tó ń wa mọ́tò tó wà in their 70s lẹ́yìn tó bá sì ní good eyesight nílùú òyìnbó ó máa wa mọ́tò láti London lọ sí Manchester ó ti mọ̀ pé ó máa sinmi ní ìjẹ́ àwọn parent tiẹ̀ tẹ̀ ní access sí mọ́tò tó lè wà. You might be sending them money lóòótọ́, but their life is not guaranteed. Ẹ sọ fún gbogbo àwọn tó ń pera wọn ní Nigerians ní UK ní bíbáyìí pé àwọn parents wọn àwọn family wọn ìjẹ́ wọ́n lè guarantee life wọn nílé pẹ̀lú owó tó ní. Can they guarantee their life? Ẹ lè guarantee life wọn. Even if you send them all the £1,000 that you are making in UK, their life is not guaranteed anymore in Nigeria today. Life wọn guarantee. And that's the fact. Ẹ lè máa lọ sí party kẹ́ máa deceive ara yín. Ẹ lè máa mingle kẹ́ máa deceive ara yín pé we are Nigerians, Association of Nigerians, the ṣìwò ní Nigeria UK. What the nonsense Association of Nigeria? And now Association of Nigeria. Àwọn kìíní kan kàník, àwọn kìíní kan. And they're all over in UK here. I don't know about America. I'm talking to the ones in UK. Supporting the nepotism of the government against their own people. They are the traitors. And what traitor káàkiri ní Nàìjíríà? Àwọn traitors gangan wà níta. The real traitors are outside trying to suppress the message to the people at home. Àwọn traitors gangan nìyẹn. The real traitors are the one outside still talking about one Nigeria. Àwọn gangan ni traitor. They have access to everything. They are working for it. There's no doubt about that. But they are the traitor deceiving those at home that Nigeria will be blessed one day. They are the real traitors. And I can only pity those of you at home. My name is OLAYOMI KOIKI. Have a very good afternoon. And I'll join you whenever I'm on again. Bye for now.
Republic, I do wrong. Odùduwà Republic àdúrà òmìnira adé. Òmìnira adé o, ìyà yìí ti pọ̀jù fún wa. Orílẹ̀-èdè mi àdúrà òmìnira adé. Orílẹ̀-èdè mi àdúrà torí ìyà yìí ti pọ̀jù. Odùduwà Republic àdúrà òmìnira adé. Ẹ jẹ́ ká fọwọ́sowọ́pọ̀ gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá kó lè ṣe iṣẹ́. Odùduwà ó dúró, Àmọ̀tẹ́kùn fìdí múlẹ̀. Ẹ jẹ́ ká fọwọ́sowọ́pọ̀ gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá kó lè ṣe iṣẹ́. Odùduwà ó dúró, Àmọ̀tẹ́kùn fìdí múlẹ̀. Orílẹ̀-èdè mi á dúró, torí ìyà yìí ti pọ̀jù. Odùduwà Republic àdúrà òmìnira adé. Torí bí wọ́n wá lọ́lọ́kùn ọdún o, ọjọ́ kan ló tán ń bá. Ìyà tó jọmọ fọjọ́ pípẹ́, bí ọ̀pọ̀ ọmọ aṣíwà lẹ́yìn ọmọ. Orílẹ̀-èdè mi á dúró, torí ìyà yìí ti pọ̀jù. Odùduwà Republic àdúrà òmìnira adé. Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin àgbààgbà àti gbogbo aláàtò tí ó wà ní ìdí gbígbé àṣà àti ìṣe ọmọ kóòtù òjíire lárugẹ. Ní pàápàá jùlọ gbogbo àwọn tí wọ́n ń ṣe iṣẹ́ takuntakun tí à ń rí àti ní abẹ́lẹ̀ kí orílẹ̀-èdè Odùduwà ìyẹn Odùduwà Republic lè dúró. Ẹ ṣeun gan ni ọlọ́dún tó mọ àrè á dìyí mú. Àwọn alálẹ̀ á kí yín lẹ́yìn. Olódùmarè á gbé gbogbo àṣẹ tẹ̀dùmarè. Ẹ jẹ́ kí gbogbo wa fi ọwọ́ sowọ́pọ̀ pẹ̀lú gbígbé orílẹ̀-èdè Odùduwà kalẹ̀. Orílẹ̀-èdè Odùduwà ní ìrètí tí a ní gẹ́gẹ́ bí ìran Yorùbá láti dé ibi tí ọkàn wa ń fẹ́. Bí a bá wo ìyà tí ó ti ń jẹ àwa ìran Yorùbá bọ̀ látẹ̀yìn, a ó rí wípé ìyà yìí pọ̀ tó bẹ́ẹ̀ sí à ń gbé ìgbé ayé ẹrú ní orílẹ̀-èdè tí a pè ní tiwa. Kò sí àǹfààní tí ó péye láti dé ibi àṣẹ ní orílẹ̀-èdè tí a pè ní tiwa yìí. Ikú ìyà, ikú ẹ̀sín, ìpakúpa ni wọ́n ń pa àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá tí ó bá ń fi òtítọ́ inú ṣe iṣẹ́ rẹ̀. Ǹjẹ́ ó wá dára kí ọmọ ẹlẹ́ran kí ó máa jẹgun? Ṣé ó dára bí kí ọmọ aláṣọ kí ó máa wọ àkísà? Ǹjẹ́ ó sunwọ̀n kí ọmọ onílé kí ó máa gbé ẹ̀yìn odi? Ẹ jẹ́ kí a rò ó kí a má bàa fi ohun tí a fẹ́ jẹ bà ohun tí a fẹ́ jẹ jẹ́. Kí a má ta ara wa dànù kí iṣẹ́ àwọn baba ńlá wa tí ó ti lọ ó má bàa parun. Kí ìran wa tí ó ń bọ̀ lẹ́yìn kí ó lè máa sọ nípa tiwa wípé a ṣe ìwọ̀n tí a lè ṣe. Ẹ jẹ́ kí a fi ara wa ṣe òṣùṣù ọwọ̀ kí a dira wa mú nítorí pé àìkọ́wọ́rìn ejò ní jẹ́ ọmọ ejò níyà. Bí ọ̀ká bá ṣáájú tí sèbé ń tẹ̀lé tí paramọ́lẹ̀ àti òjòlá ń wọ́ ruru tẹ̀lé wọn lẹ́yìn, kò ní sí ẹ̀dá kan tí ó lè fi igi na ọmọ ejò kankan pa láàrin wọn. Ìṣẹ̀dá Yorùbá ni ó dára jù nínú ìwà àti ìṣe. Yorùbá ní àpọ́nlé, bẹ́ẹ̀ ni wọ́n ń bọ̀wọ̀ fún àgbà. Ìṣẹ̀dá tí ó ní ààtò ni ìṣẹ̀dá tí Elédùà fi Yorùbá ṣe. Bí ọkùnrin bá jí ní òwúrọ̀ ní ilẹ̀ kóòtù òjíire, adọ̀bálẹ̀ gbalaja a kí àwọn òbí rẹ̀. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni bí ọmọbìnrin bá jí, a fi orókún méjèèjì kúnlẹ̀ a kí àwọn òbí rẹ̀. Àṣà tí ó wuyì ni àṣà wa, ẹ jẹ́ ká gbé àṣà wa lárugẹ. Ẹ jọ̀wọ́ gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà ní ìdí ètò yìí kí Odùduwà Republic ó lè dúró. Mò ń bẹ̀ yín ní orúkọ Olódù tó máa rè. Mò ń bẹ̀ yín ní orúkọ àwọn baba ńlá wa tí wọ́n ti ṣiṣẹ́ takuntakun ṣáájú wa. Ẹ jẹ́ kí a fi inú kan ṣe é. Ẹ má jẹ́ kí ẹ gba ìbọ̀dè ti ara wa. Ẹ má jẹ́ kí a fi àyè sílẹ̀ fún alamí láàrin wa. Mo wá fẹ́ sọ ọ́ báyìí wípé tí a bá wá rí ẹnikẹ́ni ìgbìmọ̀ yìí tí ó fẹ́ gba àbọ̀dè sí ọmọ Yorùbá tàbí tí
gbogbo ọwọ́ sí i kí wọ́n lè fi gbogbo ọkàn wọn sí i kí wọ́n lè bá wa rin ìrìn àjò náà láṣẹ Elédùmarè.
Orílẹ̀-èdè mi á dúró sórí ayé tí pọ̀jù Odùduwà Republic á dúró òmìnira adé. Orílẹ̀-èdè mi á dúró sórí ayé tí pọ̀jù Odùduwà Republic á dúró òmìnira adé.
You are confused.